Sababu hii pesa ni damu yetu ya watoto ya Gen Z. Hii pesa ni ile ingenunua madawa. Hii pesa ni pesa ya nume. Lakini pesa kwa sababu si mbaya. Hii pesa usipeleke mtoto nayo shule. Hii pesa usinunue ng'ombe ati uweke pamoja na ile yako. Hii pesa ni ya kukula siku hiyo. Alafu kaadiguo kwa sababu Mungu amepanga mwili yetu mzuri. Unakula alafu inasia alafu inafanya nini? Hiyo pesa iko na damu kwa sababu ndio iliuzwa vijana wetu wa Gen Z wamekufa. Hii pesa ni ile ikinunua madawa kwa hospitali. Ndio imejazwa pale Karen na Ikulu na magunia. Ati watu ya mlima wapewe ndio mpiduke. Mnaweza piduka? Lakini pesa kwa sababu inaweza saidia. Ile tu I want to caution you as my people. Besha isho ndugashie tukanyana ciaku. Nzoi withania. Na ndukanagure mahiũ utukania na mau. Na ndukanarĩhĩre mwana cukuru na mbeca irĩkũ? Icio nĩ cia kũrĩa na kanua ngau. Ukare? Na kũngĩhotekeka itikarare mũthenya ũrĩkũ? Ithirio mũthenya ũrĩkũ? Kwa hivyo wewe ukienda Karen ukipewa 10,000 kwa sababu huwezi maliza peke yako. Ukifika Embu ita marafiki mkule hiyo mumali hiyo pesa isifike nyumbani. Inaweza thurubu ile pesa yako umetafuta naja. Na it is unfortunate that the government has diverted public funds meant for our hospitals, meant for our women, wale akina mama, meant for capitation ya kuhonga watu ya Mount Kenya tuwarudi kwa president na ile mtu yake aliweka kwa kazi. All that is taking place in State House in Karen is bribery. It's a sin of crime. It's a sin of crime. And these are public funds. But we are saying because we have problems, tuko na shida ya pesa, hatuwezi waambia watu wetu wasichukue pesa, tutakosana na hawa. All I have done is to caution you how to use that money. Icio ni cia kuriona kanua tau. No ndukainuke nake. Ona kwa mutimi yaku ndio mwendete ndukamukinyiria mucii umwire mucemania buro oereha uburoti ahuthire mbeca hauke no ungikorwo na thiri wa mundu mutatwaranaga wega nake umurihe na mbeca iriku nitoiguithaniria na hii maneno ya kuchukua pesa ya serikali kuhonga watu kama Mount Kenya tumeizoea. Tuliona wakati ya BBI, tuliona wakati ya Azimio. It's an exercise in futility. What is sad is misuse of public funds for political bribery and trying to corrupt our people to go in a certain way politically. Sasa tunaona mabasi yote ya shule instead ya kuwa inapeleka watoto shule inakuwa preserved kusaidia watu wetu ni kuchukuliwa kupeleka watu kwenda kuhongwa. Unaona mabasi imejaa kwa barabara. But we are saying jogu ndikathikwo na ki na ng'ombe ndikarekwo ikuwe na ki inyuĩ mũrĩ andũ ogĩ inyuĩ mũtingĩgũrĩka mũtihiana mbunge arĩa maragũrirwo mbeca. Nikimalizia ndio mimi niwachie hapo. Hii maneno ya abductions, we continue to condemn abductions in the strongest terms possible. And to say, even the colonial government, brutal as it was, it never targeted our children. We want to call upon the president to stop the abductions and killings of our young people. It is pointless, Mr. President, for you to pretend to be creating peace in DRC when your government is abducting and killing our children. It doesn't make sense. That is pretense. How are you concerned about the insecurity in DRC when under your very watch your government is abducting and killing our young children? Mambo ya criminal gangs. Serikali imetafuta criminal gangs hapa wachafue hapa Mlima Kenya, knowing very well ya kwamba hawa vijana hawatakubaliwa na vijana, na wanataka hiyo vijana wapewe pesa walete fujo, ndio vijana wetu wajipange wapige hawa, ndio watuchekelee Wakikuyu wana.
Yes. That is Rigathi Gachagua. Very good evening, wherever you're following. This is a great conversation. And of course, you know, this is a Freak 24 political discussion. And as we start very early today, because we have big gents here in the show, we are going to discuss what is happening in terms of politics. So if you're following us here for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. In a Freak 24 YouTube channel, I have good friends here, and I'm going to introduce them one by one. But the main topic that we are discussing here is after Didmas Baraza said that they are going to bring Gachagua back in 2027. After now impeaching him, now he has learned some of the lessons so that he can work with the government, not only the Kikuyus. So we are just asking, do you really think that Gachagua will come back to Uda after what happened during the impeachment, the shame that he faced during the Senate and also the Parliament? So I'm going to start with Jeff Buru. Jeff, you can give your introductions as well as you give us your view on what you think about close members of William Ruto saying that in 2027 they might bring back Rigathi Gachagua.
Thank you so much, Bonnie, for this opportunity. And I just want to welcome our viewers and say hi to my good friend, Leo Nyambaya there and Engineer Ndege. Thank you for being part of this show today. Concerning the topic of today, whether it is possible for Rigathi Gachagua to come back in 2027 under UDA, I can tell you that we should not even be discussing that, because that is impossible. It is totally impossible. I don't see Rigathi Gachagua accepting to work with William Ruto after going through a lot of humiliation, something that has never been done to any other politician in Kenya, especially someone in that high position. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua is the second deputy president of Kenya. Therefore, basing on what he went through under the leadership of William Ruto, he can never accept to go back to his government. The reason why the politicians in Kenya Kwanza are saying they can work with Rigathi Gachagua, it is because they have already realized that the mountain has become very slippery. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua told them, don't touch the mountain. But they took it as a joke. What happens with the mountain people, because this is where I live and this is the people that I have grown with, the moment they depart from your political party, or the moment they withdraw their support from you, it becomes very hard for them to support you again. In Mount Kenya, politically, William Ruto is already a reject, and nobody, only very few people can accept to vote for him. So I think when we think of the percentage that William Ruto is likely to get in Mount Kenya, it cannot go beyond 15%. That is the much he can get in Mount Kenya. And if you can compare the kind of campaign Uhuru Kenyatta did for the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in Mount Kenya, and yet people only gave him around 15, not even, I think it was even less than 15% in Mount Kenya. I don't see William Ruto with the kind of rejection and hatred that he is receiving from Mount Kenya. I don't see the people of Mount Kenya accepting him again, because what he did was a typical betrayal. Betrayal is not just for deputy president. What is happening right now, the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, is receiving sympathy, support because of what he went through under the hands of someone he supported. He used his money, he used his time, he campaigned for him tirelessly to make sure that he becomes the president. He is the only person who did not fear Uhuru Kenyatta. He would face Uhuru Kenyatta, confront him to make sure that William Ruto becomes the president. Remember, this is someone who was arrested, flogged before his employees and his children, even being, they did some unthinkable things like removing his clothes naked. I mean, even if you have differences with such a person, you just remember what he went through to make you the president of Kenya. For that reason, I don't think Gachagua would accept to work with William Ruto again. Not just Gachagua. Even if today Gachagua says, I have changed my mind, I'm going to work with Ruto, he will go alone. I can tell you for sure. People will not follow. People will not follow him because Mount Kenya, we feel that William Ruto is untrustworthy. It's not genuine, and it's very hard for him to keep promises. For me, I have been campaigning for him, supporting him 100%. But out of what he did, I felt like this is someone who cannot be trusted. And that is why I am saying, just like other people, it doesn't matter whom he brings to the government. The mountain is gone and gone forever. Thank you, Kimanzi.
Awesome. Buru. Dominic, Engineer, what do you have to say about Gachagua going back to UDA?
Thank you so much, my brother. Mine is to say, ule mwenye anaendelea kudream about Mount Kenya ama Gachagua kurudi UDA, that is a big dream. I think now Mr. Gachagua, sincerely speaking, in Mount Kenya, is controlling around 80 to 75% of Central Kenya. Na kung'oa Rigathi Gachagua Central Kenya, it will be hard. Hiyo itakuwa ngumu sana kwa William Samoei Ruto. Sahi mahali iko, hata hapa sisi tuko hapa na Wagikuyu tunasikia venye kuko. Hao majamaa wanasema it will be people against one man. Hata wakaenda hapo Central Warare, mahali imefikia, hao majamaa hawezi pigia Ruto kura. Hawawezi kabisa. Yani hata sioni hata Kindiki kama anaweza saidia William Ruto. Kindiki mwenyewe juzi nimeona pala akipigiwa kelele anapewa kondoo. Akimaliza kupewa kondoo watu wanaanza kumpigia kelele. That is source how Rigathi Gachagua is powerful in Central Kenya. Huyo jamaa amecontrol Central Kenya kabisa, hata kama walimbichi huyo jamaa. But Ruto hakupiga hesabu zake mapema. Halafu kitu kingine Ruto alikosea ni hii juzi nimeona ameunganisha Musalia Mudavadi hapa na chama yake. Sasa hapo unajua amepea Rigathi Gachagua nguvu nyingine kali sana. Because Rigathi Gachagua anaenda kutumia hii chama ya Ruto na hiyo ya Amani kuungana, sijui inaitwa NC. Hiyo sasa ndio anaenda kuambia Wakikuyu, mnaona sisi tulitupwa, jamaa unaona ameungana na ule jamaa mwingine walinifukuza na yeye. Sasa hiyo ndio itakuwa tone, hiyo ndio itakuwa song hapa. Wacha kwanza tungoje hiyo jamaa anaenda kusindua. Hiyo italeta mtetemeko hapo Central. Na nakwambia Gachagua, wale wachumbe wako Central around 50 MPs. Ni wachache sana wanaweza rudi. Na ama wasirudi kabisa. Because hiyo jamaa yake inaenda kukua na nguvu ya ajabu. Because watu watasema watu ndio hawa ndio majamaa waliungana kufukuza huyu jamaa wetu. Nao hata sisi kwanza tuonyeshe njia. Itakuwa hivyo. Mtindo ni ule au majamaa watafukuzwa hivyo wakifuata Ruto. Mimi kitu naweza sema saa hii, kitambo walikuwa wanasema the one said Central is stable region. Now I think now Central is now at the center of politics. Sasa ile mambo tulikuwa tunaonanga pale sometimes back in Nyanza imerudi hapa mlima. Unajua Nyanza sisi tulikuwa tunaambiwa sisi ni watu wa position. I think now this thing has shifted to Central Kenya. Central Kenya ndiye itaamua president wa 2027. Hapo nao tusiwa rule out. Hao majamaa ndio wataamua president wa 2027. Na wawezi pigia Ruto hiyo tuweke X. Saa hii watu wa Central wao wanataka kujua ni mtu mgani anaenda kusimama against Ruto. Hiyo ndio wanataka kujua tu. So tati wamwagike na hao watu sasa ndio wanaenda kuamuka. Wacha ile tuliona hii 2022 waliamuka kidogo. Sasa ndio wanaenda kuamuka. Sina kura za Raila alipewa pale Central ilikuwa around tuseme ilikuwa around 15%. Hiyo 15% sasa kama wataweka kikapu moja na ile walipea Ruto, ndugu yangu, hata inji itatetemeka. Hata ule mwenye anaenda anafikiria ataipa hii kura, sijui ni njia gani anaweza tumia kuipa. Because mimi venye ninaona ukisikiza watu hapa kwa ground hapa my brother Poni, hapa nje ukisikiza watu wenye wanasema ati huyu jamaa kura ya 2027 hata wao wataamuka wachunge kituo. Na umesikia juzi koti imerule kura ile yenye tatangazwa pale kwa kituo hiyo ndio final. Hakuna kupepa hiyo kura upeleka Nairobi. Pale ndio final. Na kama itakuwa hiyo ndio final.
Dominic.
Yes.
Dominic, I want you to tell Bonnie that you're on the ground. You're already in Mount Kenya.
Yes, I'm on Mount.
No, you are reporting on the ground.
Exactly, mimi niko hapa. Kwanza mimi niko gate ya Central, my brother. Nasikiza ground. Watu wanasema they will sit pale kwa kituo kule kihesabiwa. Huko ndio itakuwa final tallying. Sioni ncha huyu jamaa wanajipiga kifua ati wanaambia watu ati yeye ajaanza kukampeni watu waache kuhara. Unajua this man anaona yani kila mtu ni kama takataka hii Kenya. But ule Mungu tunaomba tu uponi. Huyu jamaa ameharibu inji, my friend. Inji imeharibika, payslip zetu sasa mtu akikuonyesha payslip unaweza kimbia mbio, wote unajiuliza inji gani tuko. Mtu unapata maybe juzi I was sympathizing with my cousin. Jamaa na hand 30,000, ile pesa anachukua kwa nyumba is around 10,000. Around 10,000 hivi akona karon anakatwa hata hiyo 10,000 unapata tena hiyo 10,000 hapo unajua ukienda ku withdraw unapaki around 9. Uchalipa nyumba ya mwenyewe, hako na familia. Sasa what is that? Anyway, sasa ndio tumeanza mchadara, wacha niachie Leo Nyabayo pia yeye aongee. Sasa ndio tuanze mchadara klasi. Asante sana.
Asante sana Dominic. Leo unasemaje kuhusu Gachagua?
Asante sana Boni. Sijui ni kwa nini Jeff anacheka. Greetings my brother Jeff. Mr. Alex.
Unajua mbona anacheka?
Sijui kwa nini unacheka.
Kwa sababu ulisema hautawahi kuwa upande moja na mimi kisiasa. Naenda rafiki yangu.
Sasa ni kama wewe, si nimejiunga, nimekuja upande wako, na wakati nimekuja upande wako wewe ukatoroka. Sasa inamaanisha wewe ndio mbaya, sio mimi nimetoroka. Ni mimi nimejiunga na upande wako. Ule upande ulishabikia, ule upande ulipigia debe, na sijui nini imefanyika. It's good. I don't know why people take time discussing Gachagua, because for one thing tumejua Gachagua was impeached. Legally the legal procedure was followed, na ni mtu amejua mahali anaenda hakuna. I've really heard the way Dominic amesema. Dominic ni ukweli uko ground. Kuna wale walikuwa ground before, and you'll also agree with me that in each and every elections after 5 years the only place mali wao anabadilisha representative ni Central. Ukienda upande wa Western utapata mbunge ameserve terms 3 terms 4 hivyo. Wako na uzoefu, na ukienda kwa parliament wale wabunge wenye wako na uzoefu wale wanaitwa veteran wenye wako na institutional memory, most of them wanatoka upande wetu wa Nyanza na Western. But Central
Arap my brother
wanabadilisha wabunge. Yes.
Arap my brother, kuna kitu nakwambia, hata wale wengine tunabadilisha wachume ni wa Kisii. Sisi kwetu waturudizi mtu.
Sasa ndio kwa maana mtu kusema Ruto hatachaguliwa kwa sababu wabunge wanamfuata watachaguliwa ni kupotosha. Ni tabia ya watu wa Central kubadilisha wabunge, na ule mtu mjanja ukitaka kuingia Central usitembee na wale wabunge walichaguliwa, manake wengi wao huwa warudi. Sasa wale wabunge wenye watakuja kuchaguliwa, anajua kitu Central hawataki saini UDA na kudili nao ni rahisi. The same thing happened, hawako wanataka Jubilee and they ended up kuchagua Jubilee ndani ya UDA. Watu walienda Ruto wakaform hiyo UDA na wale walikuwa Jubilee wakakuja wakaingia wakachaguliwa. So in 2027 hakutakuwa na UDA, it's a true. Tutakuwa na chama ingine na hiyo Central bado utapata itapigia Ruto kura. And hii mambo ya kusema itio Gachagua atakuja na force kutoa Ruto, I don't think it will happen. Kitu kama hiyo haitakuwa, maanake Ruto amejua jinsi ataenda kuongea na wale watu na atawaambia, na watu wataona. Umejua ni saa amepatia Gachagua ile kisu ajimalize mwenyewe, maanake kila wakati akienda bara hajabadilika, yeye anasema tu mlima sijui mlima ilikuwa aje. Badala hatujaona Gachagua akienda kutembea huko pwani kuambia mmejua nyinyi watu wa pwani ilikuwa hivi na hivi na hivi. And I'm surprised kusikia Jeff anasema eti hataki kusikia mambo ya Ruto kwa sababu Ruto did not fulfill the promise to Gachagua. Ruto was elected to fulfill the promise to watu wa Central. So watu si watu wakisema Ruto alituahidi sisi kama watu wa Central atafanya hivi na hajafanya hivi, badala ya kutuambia alikuwa na agreement na Gachagua. It was not all about Gachagua. So wacha tungoje, siasa bado, alliances zitakuwa, from that tutaweza kujua venye kunaenda. But what I know, Kibaki was the most hated president, na kumbuka hiyo marginal will now 202 towards 2007 he was the most hated president, but he ended up serving the second term. I don't think Ruto will fail to serve his second term. Wacha niachie hapo, nikunywe maji kiasi tukiendelea.
Na upone haraka in Jesus name. Sema amen.
Yes, Nyambaya Leo. Alex, what is your take?
Good evening to everyone. I see there my seniors, Jeff. I see Leo, Dominic, seeing you for the first time, 2025. Happy to see you all kwa show. Of the Gachagua returning to UDA, hiyo kidogo hapo atakuwa amejifunga on goal, because he can't go. It's like UDA is like the beta X. Gachagua cannot go back to the beta X. He has to move forward. And you see, right now, what you're seeing from UDA is that this is the government which hasn't stood for the people, and I can gladly say this is the worst government that we have ever had in this country, because it has failed to deliver. And there is something that is surfacing online. I don't know whether it's factual or it's hearsay. Hiyo sina evidence ya kutosha, but there is a post I'm seeing on X, and there has been this story that the Deputy President Kindiki ameenda huko Mount Kenya to launch a pit latrine. Imagine. How true is it? I don't know. So staki kujipata kwa ninaitwa hearsay za Wakenya, but if it's true, it really shows how incompetent this government because how can a whole professor together with the women rep of Moranga, and there is a guest host, Sabina Chege, go to launch a pit latrine of all people. So I think a week or two ago, if you check the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, it speaks about the government building roads worth 1,000 kilometers in Western. And then the president goes there, he launches a transformer. Imagine a whole president going to Western to launch a transformer. It makes zero sense. And then going there to blast Rigathi Gachagua. What does Rigathi Gachagua have to do with the roads in
No, I think you don't need to allow Alex.
Pardon, Leo?
The president was launching that is called the last mile rural electrification, and the transformer is part of the things that will make those electricity to work. Like the president was launching the last mile, electrification.
No, my
And
brother,
electricity cannot work without a transformer.
No,
It's
no,
like
no, no, no,
if
no.
I'm launching a
Pres-
car, the car needs a battery. You don't say I came to launch a battery. So we don't need to
No,
misinform. Let us
my
be
brother
factual.
Nyabayo, a president cannot come from Nairobi to launch a transformer. That's not acceptable.
So that's what I'm saying. He was not
something
going to
to-
launch a transformer. He was going for what is called last mile rural electrification that is being spearheaded by the Minister of Energy, led by Opio Wandai, not the transformer. So the transformer was part of the things that are needed. The bulbs
No,
were in
no,
those
no,
houses.
no.
Why are you not saying he was launching a bulb? No, guys.
What is the work of the what is the work of the minister? If the president can launch the transformer, what else one day will launch? One day will launch the cable.
Sometimes you help family with the cooking, yet it is not your work. So it just shows responsibility, collective responsibility.
I think Alex was the one talking. Let him finish. We get our time.
Yes, Dominic, as we deal with Leo, Leo works in the government now. He's a cartel from the government, but he will be responding. But anyway, Alex, can you finish what you are
as
saying?
I was saying, Leo, I am closely following the Kenya Kwanza government so that they don't say we are too harsh on them. So we are trying to keep it as factual as possible. They are supposed to do 1,000 kilometers of roads in Western, and then the president goes there to the one which I am calling to launch the transformer and to go and blast Rigathi Gachagua. It makes no sense because what does Rigathi Gachagua have to do with the roads in Western? What does he have to do being called incompetent and tribal? What does he have to do with all those things concerning the people of Western? So you see, this government has failed us so much. And also, I recently learned something, this is something which can be proved. I noticed Kenya is the country where you are finding money is being borrowed outside the country, and yet it doesn't reach the country. That's something which I have noticed. And it's public information. It's not something I'm creating. Money is being borrowed from the World Bank, IMF. It's not reaching this country. So, and it's not being accounted for. So, and you see the bad thing is that many Kenyans believe in President William Ruto. So the things which we are seeing right now, kidogo hapo ametuangusha. So, and I think his goose is already cooked. Nothing can save him. Even if he revives Kina Dedan Kimathi, he still cannot climb Mount Kenya. And the people of Western, I hope hawatatuangusha, they won't be fooled to go and join the KK government, because this government is falling down. So the best thing they can do ni wafuate na tembea. And I believe in 2027, for the first time, we will see a good president, and we will see a bit of competence kwa government. We'll have a government which is based solely on the purpose of serving Kenyans. Thank you.
Awesome, Alex. Leo, you work in the government. You are one of the cartels in the government. Can you just respond to Alex and what Alex has said?
I think Alex is not being sincere. The government works in a process, and the government also delivers the services based on the taxes that are collected and the loans that have been borrowed. And it is a fact that despite the fact that the government might be working slowly, I used to oppose the government actually until I learned that sometimes you need patience to understand how governments operate, and also give them that humble time, the cooperation that they need, so that the investors can be able to invest their money, because there's some things that the government cannot do on their own. They depend on investors who need a neutral political ground. It's a fact that where Alex comes from, I think he comes in Homa Bay, if I'm not wrong. There are roads that the president promised that are going to be done. And if he reads the newspapers, the roads have already been tendered, and I think the contracts have already been awarded. So that is so positive to tell him that there is work being done. Initially, when they started this affordable housing thing, I'm one of the people who really opposed them, because I thought they would not work. But I have to confess that I've lived to see them working. If you visit Homa Bay, you're going to see they're doing the finishing. If you visit Kisumu, you'll find that there are so many places in cooperation with the county government that they've really changed the face of that city. So a lot is happening, despite the fact that there are few that are not happening. And the ones that are not happening, some of them are just sabotage. the kind of politics that you see. There are cartels who've really, like in the health sector, there are people who are used to these old regimes of Uhuru, Kibaki, and Kenyatta's, and they thought that it is only them who can aid. For example, there are people who even had private hospitals that could not even operate a broken limb, but they were claiming money from the NHIF and such kind of things. So these guys are now draining the swamp. And in the process of draining the swamp, the beneficiaries of a dirty swamp will always tell you that draining the swamp is costly. The draining the swamp is costly, it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of money. Instead of telling you that draining these swamps, the dirt that has been there in the health insurance is going to ensure that there's some credibility and accountability. Right now, I'm talking out of experience. I had a grandmother who went for some operations at Kijabe hospital, and they paid, we had to pay like 12,000 to some installment in the SHA, and they paid for her a bill of 350K. And before they paid that bill, they sent an SMS that you see this amount has been paid. Initially, you will go to Kenyatta, get treated, you will just be told to sign some forms, or any other private hospital. You will never be able to know whether this hospital was paid or was never paid. And now we want to blame irresponsible hospitals who are asking you for money at SHA ijatupatia pesa, so we cannot treat you. So how is SHA going to give them money, yet they've not even diagnosed you? Their role is to treat you, then they go claim that. That is how insurance works. People like Guru will tell you they have cars. You can't claim insurance money if you've not rendered services. So these are the people who are inciting citizens that SHA haifanyi kazi. SHA itafanyaje kazi na hujatibu mgonjwa? It is the responsibility of the hospital to buy the medicine, to employ the nurses, to treat you, then go and claim you treated so and so, so tunadai hii pesa. It is not your responsibility.
Rio, I just want to say one thing.
Yes. Buru, before you respond, Dominic, can you respond to what this government is saying?
Nikubalie tu niseme tu kitu kidogo kuhusu SHA. It is the most annoying thing, especially those who are in the hospital sector, that they are experiencing. Ujue ya kwamba this government of William Ruto did not clear the debts owed to the hospitals through NHIF. So Ruto aliacha hospitali ikiwa na madeni kubwa sana in terms of billions. Just one hospital, what you maybe you don't know, I'm also in the field of the hospital sector, and I'm interacting with doctors and the hospital owners, and I can tell you it is pathetic. How they introduced this SHA thing, it is the most pathetic way of doing things. It was supposed to be a gradual process. It was supposed to be very strategic. What is happening in Kenya? Those people that were owed money through NHIF have not been paid. So unakuta ya kwamba, tuseme kwa mfano dialysis, ili uweze kutibu mgonjwa mmoja just for one time as a doctor, the hospital will have to spend around 4,000. Alafu huyo mgonjwa anastahili alipiwe na serikali 9,000, ndio hiyo dialysis. Ile pesa hospitali imetumia na profit ipatikane. Unakuta ya kwamba serikali haijalipa hospitali, lakini hospitali imetumia pesa yake kutibu mgonjwa. Just one hospital. In one
just a minute. I want us to be on the same page. I'm building on your point, if you don't mind.
Yes, just build it, then you're going to say what you want to say. Wacha nimalize. Hakuna mahali tutaenda, tuko hapa. Sasa unakuta ya kwamba serikali, hospitali imetumia pesa yake kutibu wagonjwa, lakini serikali hailipi hospitali. Just one sector in one hospital, serikali owes 150 million. That is just dialysis. Na hatujahesabu hizo other sectors or departments of the hospital. What will happen in the long run? Wale wote wenye wamekuwa wakitumia insurance ya NHIF, hii ya SHA, kama serikali haitalipa, most of the private hospitals are going to close down. Kwa sababu gani? tumeshatumia, yani hospitali zimeshatumia pesa zao kutibu wagonjwa, kununua equipment, kununua dawa na hizo vitu zingine zote, but the government is not paying the hospitals. That is the problem. That is the big problem, Leo, kama haujui. What we were supposed to do is to restructure NHIF. Is to restructure NHIF, but not to do away with it. I am telling you that as someone who is in the hospital sector. That is what people are going through. Very
just a point of correction. NHIF was not done away with. It was restructured and renamed. The management the systems. Listen, ngoja nimalize. The accounts are still the same. What is happening is they increased accountability. Those hospitals that were doing dialysis, they don't even have the capacity. They were claiming the money.
He works in the government. It's a government cartel.
But I don't agree. You are spreading rumors and lies, Leo.
No,
we will not allow you.
They came up with a new system.
How many people are claiming money that they've not?
How can you tell us? How can you say at NHIF was not done away with, that it was restructured? Well, Leo, that we won't allow you. We won't allow you to do that.
A new system before clearing the debts for the old system. That's unfortunate. That is not professional way of doing things.
Mister, I hope you just migrated from NHIF to register fresh.
No. Let Dominic respond. Leo, you can keep quiet. Let Dominic respond to your point. I know you.
I'm my friend Omondi.
Yes, Dominic, how are you?
I'm fine, my brother.
Good to see you. Hata mzalendo ameonekana leo.
Okay, thanks.
Mimi nakuaga. I'm always around.
Zalendo, keep quiet.
Mimi kuna kitu nilikuwa nataka niingilie Nyabayo. Just one thing. Kuna kitu hapa Nyabayo amesema ati cartels wa Uhuru Kenyatta wako bado kwa ile government. No, my brother, let me confirm this. This government hii ndio iko na cartel wengi sana. Kwanza kama hii mambo ya saa umesema ati saa mimi nakuambia leo mahali nimetoka hospitali ni ile siwezi sema because hii ni media tunaonekana kila mahali, siwezi taka kuongea na saulizo hiyo maswali kazini. My brother, kuna mgonjwa pili ilikuwa 400,000. Wewe unajua saa imemlipia pesa ngapi? Mimi mwenyewe niliona na macho mpaka hata hao watu walikuja hapo wanalia. Saa ilimlipia 60,000 for 400,000. Huyu mgonjwa amekaa for 6 days.
Hospitali gani? Private ama government hospital?
Leo Nyabaya.
No, my brother, just relax. Siwezi sema hapa because of media. Na mimi sitaki niende niulizwe kasini, mbona unaenda kusema maneno kwa media? Hiyo ni ukweli nakuambia hapa. Hiyo ni ukweli nakuambia hapa. Saa hii ni kitu baba, watu wengi watakufa bila hata kutibiwa. Hii saa sioni kama hii system imekuwa sawa. Hii system ni ya machambers. People are there stealing money. Wanatuambia ati saa inafanya kazi. Ukikuja hapa ku defend government, defend with a good strategy. Hata sisi uni confuse, lakini mimi mwenyewe nimeona. Sitaki ku defend kitu yenye sijaona, lakini nimeona na macho yangu. Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nasema.
Asante, engineer. Of course you have addressed Leo. No, Leo is a cartel from the government. He has been working with the government. Before Mzalendo speaks, Jeremiah, can you
just one,
yes.
Just 1 minute.
Kwanza wacha tupatie Jeremiah nafasi. Jeremiah, okay. Ongea na cartel wa government hapa.
Asante Bon, mimi ndo nimeingia but nimeingia nikipata Leo ana defend Sha. I am appalled. Something that even Kenyan parliamentarians are opposing. Wewe unajaribu ku defend how? Yes. Surely. It doesn't. But that aside,
are politicians. They have to pose it so
that aside,
depending on them. They will never support anything that benefits you. Anything that
aside,
do that.
That what I want to say is that I had a very good discourse with some senior government officials sometime November, December, around there.
Mm-hmm.
And basing on all that has gone around this SHA thing, if you worked with government, you know there is something called authority to incur expenditure.
Exactly.
The cartels that came up with the idea of SHA had to justify and give the ministry authority to incur expenditure. That was it. Nothing. Whether it's working, whether it's not working now, the idea behind SHA was to create an authority to incur expenditure amongst the people in the government at that time. But after it's all said and done, SHA is not working. It's a flop. It's a fish that is rotten from the head. Once a fish rots at the head, you cannot purport to say that the fish is still fresh because you're looking at the tail. Once the head of a fish rots, the fish is rotten, all of it. This SHA, like Mburu said, if we were a progressive, if this administration was serious about giving social protection for Kenyans through the health sector, there could have been one. First, public participation and find out what is NHIF doing that is not working. What is NHIF doing that is working? Then on the flip side of that, say now, how do we then restructure it so that it does what we want? Was there any public participation to ask Kenyans about NHIF, the shift from NHIF to shift? None, zero. People just walked into State House because they could meet with the president and tell the president, they started to implement.
Check the
Now Leo, government cartel, relax kwanza malize. Wacha malize utadefend serikali yako.
What is the threshold for the public participation? That is what needs to be done.
So
public participation was done in the court rule. So let us be factual.
Where?
Despite the
where was public participation done?
The court ruled on that. It was done on several places. Public participation threshold
for the shift from NHIF to shift.
Exactly.
So, Rio, did you participate in that public participation?
One of our panelists here, Stella, even attended that participation.
Hey.
I know somebody participated.
Anyway, Leo, it was let me finish. Yes, as far as I know, there was no public participation done from Kawaida Kenyans to see is there a requirement to change from NHIF to SHA. I don't think it happened. And if you're saying that the court ruled that it was done, I wonder what that decision was based on, if it was done by a court. Bottom line, Leo, SHA is not working. It is not working. Kenyans are crying. And for you to try to say that it's working, it's appalling. Maybe you haven't had the experience like what Dominic just mentioned, practical, that somebody has a bill of 400 and then SHA pays 60,000. Surely. How is that helping? SHA is not working.
I think Dominic has shown you what I was saying.
SHA is not working. SHA is not working.
Okay.
Relax. Leo Nyabaya. Wataka tupatie Mzalendo.
I just request 1 minute from Mzalendo, if you allow me.
Yes.
Let me talk of two things. Number one, on public participation. The only problem we have in the country is that the threshold of the public participation is low. That is why, even if they consult 3 or 4 people, it meets the threshold. So that is what we need to challenge. Then secondly, the people who are saying maybe who are against this SHA or whatever, most of them are politicians who will always want you to depend on them, yet they pay a lot of money in using your public money, the Jubilee insurance and the rest. And lastly, people like Dominic, who is having a pharmacy at the cartels, who will not tell you the truth. And it is evident he is in a pharmacy, so you expect him to support this thing, really.
Yes, Mzalendo. Respond to this government cartel.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yes, thank you very much. Nice to see you guys, and nice to see Leo flip-flopping. You know, 1 year ago, this is somebody who was condemning Shah in each and every conversation that you met, Leo. But today, I'm glad that he has used the services and is really appreciating that Shah is working. So the government maybe is doing something good somewhere that Leo knows that we don't even know about. Even that lady who stormed Duffy House, that was just a hoax. It was not, even that lady who was carrying a baby, that was not something, that was a stage managed, that was just an act. But anyway, let us be real to the facts. Shah, there are some benefits that Shah has that NHIF did not have. But if it is implemented properly, then it can serve the purpose that it was intended for. But I think the rush to implement Shah is the rush to eat money that was in the NHIF coffers. Nobody talks about how much was left in the NHIF coffers. The body is already disbanded. We have a new body. Then what happens to the collections that NHIF had? So those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves critically. That what kind of accountability is there when you switch a body to a new body? What really happens to the staff? Do you move with the staff, or what happens to the accounts and the debts that NHIF had? So these are the things that we need to ask. But if you look at the implementation of Shah, it was done in a rush, but it is a good thing. If it can take care of terminal illnesses, then it is something that will be beneficial. If it is taking care of ambulance in case of an emergency, that is something that NHIF didn't have. Then if it is also taking care of yourself, if you are sick and you walk into a hospital and you don't pay a dime, then that is a good thing. If it is also cheaper than NHIF, because the NHIF we were paying about 1,700, between 300 to 1,700, and this one is 300 to people who are not working. NHIF was something that only the civil servants benefited a lot. So that is a good thing. Some of these government projects are good. It is only that the communication is poor and they are done in a hurry, in such that it looks like a cover-up, or somebody wants to eat some money somewhere. But anyway, having said that, I thought that you guys would be talking about Gachagua being bribed by Kenya Kwanza government to come back. I thought that you'd be talking about that. I said earlier on that Ruto has got a card that is going to play. It's called the Joker card that will send people like Leo scampering for safety. If Ruto brings back Gachagua as the DP, I don't know what will happen in Kenyan politics. The same Leo and his group will be back on the streets campaigning against Ruto. So power politics, again, it's so unpredictable, but a lot is going to happen. Gachagua is going to make a press conference very, very soon. I don't know whether it is today or maybe in the course of this week. So there is something that is happening in politics. Kenya Kwanza have realized that they can't do away with Gachagua so easily. And again, the most important ally in the coalition was the Kikuyu community. And Ruto has realized that. So I will not be surprised that if Ruto goes to Nyeri and tells the Nyeri people that niliwakosea, najua, mimi nilikosa, na munisamee, you know, na Gachagua, wewe ni mcha Mungu, unisamee, tusameane, turudi tufanye kazi pamoja, na That will be the end of it. We will be back here wondering, hey, what really happened? So sometimes a day in politics, a lot can happen. So we wait to see. Otherwise, thank you very much. I'm getting to work. Nitakuwa nikisikia kwa background huko.
Thank you, Mzalendo, thank you so much. And you seem to be one of the cartels who are getting to support the government, because we are saying SHA is something that needs to be proved. Leo Nyabaya, of course, you have seen how these guests are trying to criticize your government. What do you have to say about your government? Now it's your time.
Mzalendo goes, Mzalendo should know that he's talking of getting back. He's talking of Gachagua coming back as a DP. I think if Gachagua comes back as a DP, that those people who hated Ruto, or those people who voted Ruto, did not maybe mean well for this country. Or it also proved to them that these people who are telling us that Ruto must go, actually, they are not against Ruto. They are just complaining that there is nothing for us to eat, and Ruto has prevented us from eating. So telling us that bringing up Gachagua and maybe winning the mountain will prove a point that Ruto is trying to show us, that these people of the mountain, it is not about the bad economy. It is not about abductions. These things is because they've not been included. All those routes that they were using to maybe do some dealings, all those preferential treatments that they've been enjoying since independence are now being closed, and Ruto is now leveling up so that the country can belong to all of us. Today, Boniface, you can be able to see some developments maybe being directed to your region without voting for this government, actually, or without maybe knowing who is who. So all these things that we are seeing, the demonstrations that were there, and the people were shouting Ruto must go. And Mzalendo has confirmed that if Gachagua can come back, these people will stop shouting Ruto must go. So their enemy is not Ruto. The problem is not Ruto. The problem is them who feels that everything must begin and end away with. My prayer is that we get to do away with this thing that God resides in Mount Kenya, and this God cannot maybe rise from the rivers or from the lakes or from the valleys. That is the disease that we have in this country.
Yes, that is Leo Nyambaya, of course. Since he started supporting the government, then you see he has a lot of changes. Dominic Engineer, talk to Leo Nyambaya. He works in the government and he knows what is happening.
I think my brother, kuondoa Nyawayo kwa government, it will be hard thing. Yeye wacha ashinde na watu, wakati tuwafukuze wote njia moja. For now, hata tukijaribu kumhubiria hata kubali. Yeye wacha defend government, na I don't think so kama Rigathi Gachagua anaweza rudi kwa hii government. Hiyo isaenda hivyo. Juu sasa unajua mtu akisadungwa mwipa mahali amepitia, siku nyingine anapita hapa akiangalia sana. So Gachagua kumwambia rudiane na Ruto, it will be hard thing. Hapo tuweke X. Saa hii mahali hiko Rigathi Gachagua ana control Mount Kenya, venye nimekuambia. Ana control 75 to 80% of votes ya Central Kenya. So Gachagua yeye wacha atengeneza chama yake. Na kitu kingine nilikuwa nasema, kuna kitu leo nilikumbuka sometimes back last year mwezi wa 11 Jeremia Omondi alitufunza. Na nimeona Raila Amolo Odinga swali anaenda kuanguka na anaanguka. Hiyo kitu leo nimekumbuka, by Jeremia leo nimekukumbuka. Nikamwambia some friends of mine. There is a friend of mine mwenye alitufunza hii kitu, na nimeona kama nchi imesema inaenda kuunga ule jamaa mkono, sasa ndio mambo imeanza kutirika ukweli. Huyu mzee anaanguka, wacha anguke pale arudi hapa, so that hii serikali ya William Ruto iweko kwa kijunjuko. Kichungi tuweke hivi tu wapepetwe ndio tuone ukweli wao. Mimi naomba huyu mzee anguke. Na nimeona kweli anaenda kuanguka. So that they arudi hapa Kenya.
I think that is being evil. Those people were saying that Raila was not born to come and keep the government on check. So anybody who's praying that aanguke ndiye akuja achunguze nini ya Ruto,
Exactly. That's what we want.
What I can tell Raila is that aanguke na akuja achane, akuja enda pumzike na kuja kuchunguza. Kwani kazi yake ni kuja kuchunguza Ruto, kuchagua Ruto alafu yeye aanguka.
Hiyo ndio mnataka Raila, mlimpeleka pale so that hii nchi ikaliwe na makatel na wezi.
No, tulishaangusha Gachagua. Wacha Gachagua pambane na Ruto. Why would you want Raila kukuja?
No, we want this. Yes, we want this to come back.
In ODM, the O in ODM does not stand for opposition. It stands for orange. So anybody who thinks that the O in ODM signifies opposition, I think should start another party with an O to signify opposition. So Raila aanguke, asipoanguka. If I'm Raila nikianguka sahi, wacha niingie biashara niachane na. So
that is your dream. That is how UDA family is dreaming. That's what you dream.
Dominic, yes. I tell you something.
Yes.
Hiyo siku nilikwambia ati Raila ataanguka. That statement, if you remember everything I said,
yes,
is that the worst version of Raila to any sitting president in Kenya,
yes,
is an idol Raila.
Exactly.
So if anything happens that Raila doesn't make it to the AU, trust me, Ruto will bulldoze something for him. Will keep him busy, whether it's an illegal position like the position held by Kina Mudavadi. He will create something for him and keep him busy there. I don't agree with what Mzalendo is saying that Gachagua, there is no way Gachagua can team up with Ruto before 2027. I don't see that happening. There is no rationale, whichever way you look at it, that would make that a sensible decision from either or. If anything, Gachagua has tasted the power that he wields now in Murima, that if Ruto were to try Matikuja, we ataruka futi 10. Atajua, kumbe he can't even do that. So here I don't see that happening. But as it is right now, me, I think Gachagua will run his race. I think that he will get a few people to support him. Yes. I'm not so sure that the popularity he's enjoying now, he will enjoy, say December 2026, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, towards the August 2027 elections. When the push comes to shoves, the powers that be, because we all know that politicians don't wield the real power. The real power is wielded by people that you don't even see. The people who run the economy. The people who actually make the president, make somebody a president. When the time comes, they know Gachagua is not good for their money and their investments. Watoa hizo pesa zao huko Murima, it will be a fight to the dogs. And I don't see Gachagua really putting up a strong opposition to those people, bearing in mind that Gachagua himself cannot be on the ballot. After MC, I qualify for him. So whatever fight he will be fighting on behalf of someone. And do you know that is the hardest fight to fight for someone. When you're fighting for yourself, it's very easy because you say things that people can understand and relate with you. But if Gachagua maintains his influence, go kwa Murema, but he's fighting for someone else, that would be a very hard sell. Regardless of who that person is, it would be a very hard sell for him. So Mimi, I know that two things will happen. And I can bet, on this. One, if Raila loses AU, Ruto will carve up something for him to keep him busy and keep him on his side up to the elections in 2027. That is one thing I know for sure. Two, Gachagua will not be on the ballot. He will muscle up a lot of momentum. He will not go anywhere. He will not win the election with whatever combination that he has, whether him and Kalonzo and who, it doesn't matter. He won't go anywhere. I don't think that he will be able to pull something that can take him to the big house. I don't see that happening anywhere. Those are my two predictions.
Yes, Omondi, of course, they think that Haido Raila is a big threat. Buru, I can see you are back. You had to say something
Yes, sir.
concerning the cartel. We have the cartel here who works in the government.
No, let's not call them cartels, because everyone has the right to support whichever side they feel like supporting. But this is what I have to say. I remember some time back when the impeachment was going on, I was in this show, and I said that William Ruto was about to make a grave mistake. And most people who were in the panel could not agree with me. They said that Gachagua has no support. He's an idiot. I don't know. He does not know this and that. And I said William Ruto was going to make a big mistake. Right now, most of you are agreeing with me that he already have the support, which people were saying that he was not having. So William Ruto had a chance of containing Gachagua, but he failed. He had a chance of taming him and retain him in the government, but he failed. What he has done, he has created a very strong opposition for himself. In this show, I said it is not a must that because you have built another bridge, you have to demolish the older bridge. And that is the most unfortunate thing that our politicians do. They deceive us that they are uniting Kenya, but they unite one community and fight another community. They unite some politicians and fight other politicians. It was the same mistake that Uhuru Kenyatta did. He built a bridge, and a strong bridge, with the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. But he demolished a bridge with William Ruto. And I thought William Ruto is someone who can learn from history. But he repeated the same mistake that his predecessor made by chasing away Gachagua. In fact, Uhuru Kenyatta was fair enough, because he did not go to the extent of trying to expel or even to impeach William Ruto. So right now, as I said, those who thought that Gachagua was a very weak politician, all of them can tell you, everyone can tell you, that it was a mistake chasing Gachagua away from the government. Now, Gachagua has become such a serious threat. People are saying he will not be in the ballot. And I'm saying he is yet to exhaust all the avenues of appealing to see if he can be allowed to contest. That is one. Number two, the government is very wide. It is not a must that Gachagua becomes the president of Kenya. He will negotiate for any other position. The only position that he cannot hold is political position through campaign and all that. But the government is wide. Whoever
public office.
Let me finish.
No, I'm correcting you on the slide.
Hata chairman yakati mjibu ni public office hawezi kuwa hata chief, hata kuchanga ile ya matanga,
hata chairman wakati deep kwao,
hata chairman ya nini.
Wacha Mburu ararue serikali. Tulieni.
Si elective office, public office.
Unajua sasa hivi mmezoea kurusha mawe mpaka mnarusha mawe kwa TV. Sasa ni nini? Simkoje.
Acha mawe basi hizi narushwa.
What a profiling. We are correcting you. Me, I stand for the truth. When you are saying something that is not true, I will correct you hapo. Sita kungojea uendelee nayo.
That is fine. That is fine. Wacha niendelee. Nasema hivi, serikali ni kubwa sana na sio lazima Gachagua akuwe president pale. Anaweza pata kiti kingine chochote katika serikali. Na niseme hivi, cha pili, Gachagua sio ati ni pesa anatafuta, ati anatafuta kazi. He is already done his businesses. He has good money. He can support anybody else, even without getting any position. He has the ability to do it. And unlike other people from other places, we, the people of Mount Kenya, we are very principled. If we decide we are going to support, even if it is Karonzo, it doesn't matter who becomes his deputy. We are going to support him 100%. So we look at our interest, because politics is all about interest. Is this person going to protect our businesses? Is this person going to protect our political interest in that government? That is what we shall be looking at. Remember, William Ruto and Gachagua, they went around the nation coming up with agreements of the developments that the government will implement if they acquire power. He has forgotten all those things. And that is where they were parting ways with Gachagua. Because Gachagua was telling him, there are people you promised this and that. You have to do it. But William Ruto was not committed to do it. And I can tell you for sure, there is a high possibility that William Ruto will become a one-term president. And I said Mr. Nyambuto is in Kenya, actually in central Kenya. And I can tell you, if Ruto is relying on the votes of Mount Kenya, those votes are already gone, and gone forever. You know, even during the campaign of Uhuru and Raila Odinga, I used to come here and speak whatever was in my mind. And even now, I have to tell you that Mount Kenya will not vote for William Ruto, no matter what you try to do. He can try to bring developments. He can try to bring so many people in his government. But I can tell you for sure, the support is gone, and it's gone forever. Somebody said about how the elections will be rigged. Hiyo milango tutafunga, na tutaifunga kabisa. Haitawezekana. Milango tutafunga. Especially we, the people from diaspora, we participated a lot in ensuring that the votes of William Ruto were not stolen. We participated to make sure that his agents were paid. We contributed. We mobilized people to man the polling stations to ensure that the votes were not rigged. We shall do the same to ensure that the person whom we are going to support will not be rigged. And remember, Uhuru Kenyatta had everything. He had the police, he had the army, he had the deep state, he had everything, but he was not able to rig for Raila Odinga. Even William Ruto will not manage to rig for himself. And I want him to be a one-term president so that people can learn to keep their promises, to be gentle, and to fulfill what they promise people during campaigns.
Yes, that is a Buru. In the comment section, I can see a lot of people. Gipsy Kona, Labani Misiani. I can see Labani Misiani here. And also, I will read those comments because they are coming in large number. I was some here. Jeremiah, you have listened to what Buru said.
Yes, nimesikia vizuri sana. And I can always predict what he's going to say before he says it. And I know that he can also predict what I'm going to say as a rebuttal to what he has said. Ubaya wake yeye akisema alafu anaenda ako wapi?
Ametoroka.
Akishasema anatoroka, watu wakijibu asikii. That's why he keeps saying the same things over and over again. Politics is a game of numbers, Mburu. Yeah? And as much as Murima mkona numbers. Ruto did his calculation very well. He's losing a couple of millions of votes, but is retaining a lot more by retaining Raila. And that's why it's imperative that he keeps Raila mpaka siku ya kura. Because Muru have said this before, and I say it, and I'm telling you this because I know that's the mathematics, that's the hesabu Ruto anapiga. If he has Raila on his side, okay, forget what people say sahi ati oh Wajaluo sijui wamechoka what.
Exactly.
When the time comes and Baba is okay and Baba says sisi ni Ruto, 90 to 95% of Luos, forget those who are making noise now, are going with what Baba says. With the 90 to 95% of Luos, right? He gets about 80 to 90% Western, right? He gets 70 to 80 Coast, right? He gets 70 to 80 Eastern. And we know that Northeastern goes with the government of the day all the time. So that we know they will go with Ruto. And cosmopolitan area like now Nairobi and the towns, especially Nairobi, is also getting some 60, 70%. If you take all those numbers, Mburu, where is a person or a party supported on the basis of watu wa Murima, na kwa sababu tuling'olewa kwa deputy president, sasa sisi tunaenda na huyu, where are those numbers going to come from? And so that is the top layer. The mid layer, Mburu, I agree with you. Murima voters are very disciplined, and they ask very pertinent questions before they vote somebody. How is this guy going to protect our interest in the government? How is this guy going to protect our investments across the country? How is this guy going to serve our interest? And I said it a short while ago. When that time comes, the Mount Kenya mafia, those who are now the people that rule the country, wachana na politicians, because those people actually put politicians in those offices. They are the puppeteers who are controlling the politicians. When the time comes, na waone okay, serikali nenda hivi, they are always safe going with the government. They will put their money on the ground, they will put their foot soldiers on the ground and tell their youths tunaenda huku. And when that happens, you know what will happen. So Mburu, I agree with you, but the explanation you are giving of why Murima won't vote for Ruto because of the loyalty, I'm countering that with saying their loyalty is the reason they will go where their henchmen will tell them when the time comes. When the Mount Kenya mafia wafungue kibeti waseme sasa, what do we need to do to secure? And like I told you before, Mburu, Ruto doesn't actually need a lot of votes from Mount Kenya. He just needs approximately about 30% of the total Mount Kenya votes. And then he finds a way to split the remaining 70% with somebody else. They can very easily, the government can very easily sponsor somebody else to run against Gachagua's onslaught in the mountain region. So if Ruto gets 30%, your 70% was split na Gachagua and is king and someone else. What happens? Sio story hiyo, hesabu si imeisha. Mathematics, my friend, hesabu.
Umemaliza?
Hesabu. Yes, Mburu,
Sasa,
you can. Before Mburu you respond, Alex, we have Alex here.
Okay, so what am I supposed to respond, Bonnie?
You heard what Jeremiah said
about the voting. I guess there are a lot of predictions people are making, but at 2027 ndio msema kweli. We can say this, say that. We can say Ruto will be one term. We can say he will miss out, but 2027 ndio msema kweli. What I can say is that you can't underestimate William Ruto. Because even in 2022, I was almost sure this time Raila is going to get the seat, but out of nowhere, President Ruto clinched the seat. And what I would say about ODM is they have to follow the Secretary General, what he's saying. Secretary General Nisifuna. So whatever Sifuna gives the direction, that will be the good one. In the previous election, ODM, they liaised themselves with the previous regime, the one which Kenyans rejected, and Ruto was addressing the issues which Kenyans were facing. Naona kwa ameka kina mama mboga, kina boda boda kwa serikali, and those are the people who elected him. So in the next election, my prediction is the person who's going to get the seat has to distance himself from this previous regime, and they have to address the issues which Kenyans are facing, and that's one way you'll get the seat. And you also need Rigathi on your side, because politics is also about numbers, and Mount Kenya is the community with the largest numbers. So, and Rigathi is good at mobilizing those people. He might not be good at developing the country or whatsoever, but he's good in mobilizing the people because he's excellent in communicating. So if 2027 I am vying for a seat, let's say the presidency, I will need Rigathi on my side to mobilize the people. That's what I can say.
Yes, Buru, do you? Yes, Buru, you have to respond.
Wacha niseme kitu. Yeah, wacha niseme kitu. Jeremiah hakutuambia baada ya kuhesabu hizo kura zote zenye amesema, hakutuambia William Ruto ameona atapata gapi. Angetuambia kama ni 10 million. Sasa hesabu yake ameiacha kwa hewa nikiwa open hivyo, tujijazie. Lakini si kweli kwamba Western.
I gave you percentages.
You give percentages, but you didn't tell us in the overall what percentage are you projecting that is likely to get. And I want us to go back, Boni na munisaidie kukumbuka kidogo. William Ruto aliposhinda uchaguzi alikuwa na kura gapi? Aliwini na milioni ngapi, Jeremiah?
7 million.
Alex.
7 million.
7 million.
Yes.
Tunakubaliana?
Yeah, true.
Unajua Mount Kenya peke yake, bila kuhesabu wale wa Kikuyu wako outside Central Kenya, Mount Kenya peke yake imefikisha registered voters 7 million. Kwa hivyo Mount Kenya huwa inahitaji kura kidogo sana kutoka kwa watu wengine huko nje ili kuweka mtu kwa ofisi kama rais. Kwa hivyo as it is right now, Kikuyu votes in Nairobi is around 1 million. Kiambu County it is 1.2 million. Boni ufanye hiyo hesabu, maana tumeambiwa tufanye hesabu. Registered voters.
Sasa unahesabu Kiambu tena na ulishawa hesabu kwa Murima. Ulishawa hesabu kwa Fendo, unahesabu tena separate aje.
Sasa nataka nikufanyie hesabu tu rahisi.
Ukishahesabu 7 million ya Fendo limebeba Kiambu.
Ngoja. Unajua naweza tu patiana figa watu wadhani ninaongea tu mambo yangu. You can check the statistics.
You can't say Nyanza and then you say Kisumu. You can't say Kiambu. Kiambu is Central.
Jeremiah si unyamaze kidogo. Hii ukweli huwa inauma. Si ugoja nikuduge shindano tu sasa.
No, hapana. Even Alex, am I correct in the right thing? He counted Central 7 million.
No, can you do
then he counts Kiambu separately.
Omodi tafadhali nyamaza. You know when you were talking, when you were talking, I was not talking. It is only gentle that you listen divergent views. So kwanza nikufanyie tu hesabu ya Mount Kenya peke yake. Na ili ujue kwa nini any serious politician would like to be supported by this region? Because in Kenya, we follow democratic process. And that is why we talk of the tyranny of numbers. So haijalishi hizi votes zitatoka wapi. So I was saying Nairobi, watu kutoka Mount Kenya wenye wako tu Nairobi, it's 1 million. Kiambu, it is 1.2 million. Nakuru is 500,000. Meru is 800,000. I'm talking of registered. Na muangalie. Murang'a is 600,000. Nyeri, 500,000. Kirinyaga, 400,000. Nyandarua is 400,000. Embu, 350,000. Laikipia, 250. Tharaka Nithi, 250. Ukiongeza hizo, utakuta ya kwamba Mount Kenya peke yake iko na uwezo wa kupata kura kama zile zenye ziligiza Ruto katika uongozi. Enda Western, umeona vyenye huyu jamaa anaitwa anatembea, vyenye ametetemesha serikali ya William Ruto. Wakati watu wanasema ati Gachagua anafanya tu kampeni huko Central Kenya, when he was talking the other day last week, he was in Western, and we saw he has very great support. So many politicians from all over the country. So this is not someone that you can just underestimate as a serious analyst, as a serious politician. At the end of the day, what you count is what are you able to bring on the political table in terms of votes. And the person with more votes becomes the president. In this case, it is not 100% guaranteed that the former prime minister is going to support William Ruto. And I can tell you, he is going to fail in AU. And when he comes back, Baba anajua nguvu yake on the ground, anajua akona support kubwa sana. Atataka kiti kubwa sana, ambacho William Ruto hatakuwa willing kumpatia. Unless William Ruto decides in 2027, he is going to step down and support Baba to become the president of Kenya. William Ruto, Raila Odinga will not support him. I can tell you for sure, it is very hard ati ya kwamba Odinga atasupport William Ruto akuwe president na hajampatia kiti kubwa kuliko yenye yeye anapata. Basing on the fact that anajua already Ruto is very weak. He has already lost his political base. Angalia, Baba alikuwa na kura za Kalonzo, zimeenda. Kalonzo will not be with Baba. People like Babu Owino, already they have said no. If we are not going to field any, ODM is not going to field any candidate, I am going to contest on my own. People like Sifuna is not even with Ruto. I mean, very strong people are not supporting the agreement between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So there is a very high chance, and I can tell you for sure, those who are observant enough, right now, the weakest president that we have ever had is William Ruto after losing his strongest base. And he went mahali papata papotea. He is not guaranteed ya kwamba Raila Odinga will support him. Ni ile tu ana guess, maybe atasupport. Na hata akisupport, hatapata kura zote zenye Baba alikuwa nazo. Half of it will go to whoever Gachagua is going to support. Tutakuwa hapa tukifanya analysis na mtaona. Na tutakuwa hapa nikiwaambia, si niliwaambia Baba hawezi support Ruto. Akiona watu wake wanakataa, hata yeye atafuata watu wake. Asikize ground kwanza, ajue kama hivyo ndivyo watu wa Nyanza wanataka, kama hivyo ndivyo watu wa Western wanataka, lakini mjue maana huyu Ruto nimejua ni muongo. Atajaribu kudanganya Raila Odinga, na akijua ya kwamba ni kudanganywa anadanganywa, ile conflict itakuwa pale. Wakipasuka wakienda kila mtu njia yake, ngoja utaona. Tanimalizie hapo Boni. Lakini
before you finish, there are some questions here. But Messiani is saying that Buru, these are tribal figures you are giving us. And also there is another question. How will the next president come from Central Region? What's the plan? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen. Those are questions Nakupatia. How will the president come from Rift Valley? Yet,
Uliza swali
the
moja moja.
Central, the Rift
Usiulize
Valley
maswali kumi.
has already planned and it has been successful.
Sasa hiyo swali hata sijashika penye umeuliza. Hebu rudia tena. Now just make it a simple question.
Someone is saying
What is
that
the question?
the figures that you have given us are totally tribal.
Yes.
Why are you being tribal? That is what the question is saying.
That is the question. Tukienda kwa uchaguzi, kura haiendi pale inaandikwa hii ni ya Mkikuyu, kwa hivyo haiko na nguvu kama ile ya Mjaruo. Ukienda kwa uchaguzi, kura ni kura. You see? So kile kitategemea ni nani atakayepata nyingi kuliko yule mwingine. So I have to tell you, if Central Kenya will support you and Central Kenya has 7,000 votes, lazima na wewe utafute vile utaweza kutoshanisha na hii ingine. So it is okay because wacha nimalize nani. It is okay for me to give the tribal figures for those who are saying, oh, Rigathi Gachagua is very weak. Oh, Rigathi Gachagua does not have enough support. I just wanted to open their eyes. Maana hii ndio sababu watu wamekuwa wakisema, imeibiwa, kimeibiwa. Lakini hujaijiuliza, how many registered voters are on that region kabla useme uchaguzi umeibiwa. And that is why I'm saying, mwenye atasapotiwa na Central, unajua ukweli wakati mwingine inauma, na kura haijalishi kama ilikuwa ya Mkamba ama ya Mkikuyu. Ikienda kwa debe, it has the same weight. Kwa hivyo kama debe ni ile moja ile yenye najua, ukiignore hii kura museme hiyo ni region moja, sijui tutawatenga, haitawezekana. Especially kama sisi hatutakuwa tuna field anybody. We are going to support somebody else. Kama Kalonzo ama Matiang'i, maana kuna possibility. We can support even Matiang'i. So long as ni mtu ambaye hana uongo, udanganyifu na wizi. Imagine right now we are talking of somebody who is the second most corrupt, not in Africa, not in East Africa, but in the whole world. I mean, we should not even be talking. We should be forcing him to resign. So there are so many factors that can be used against William Ruto, and people of Kenya need to open their eyes. Mjue ya kwamba kitu kama hii tumeongea hapa mambo ya SHA. Ukiona Ruto ana support kitu sana, mkono yake iko ndani ya kikapu pale, kuna kitu anataka kuvuruta. Ukiona venye alikuwa anamsukuma hii mambo ya Adani, wanataka kuuza airport, mkono yake ilikuwa hapo, kuna kitu alikuwa anataka. A very corrupt leader, mwenye sahi tunastahili kujiuliza, where are we heading to as a country? Right now, he is very busy trying to corrupt president at to support Raila Odinga for AU seat, using Kenyan taxpayers' money to try to bribe president to vote for Raila Odinga, simply because he want to be supported. It is out there. Umeona mpaka huyo chama wa AU, the other guy who is contesting for that position saying, oh, yeah, it is true. They are trying these things. And that is why today Kenyans need to open their eyes. Tuseme mtu ambaye amesemekana dunia mzima ni aibu kwetu, second most corrupt person in the world. We should be ashamed of supporting such a person. Yes.
Yes. Buru, it's very explosive when it comes to the government. Jeremiah, respond to Mburu, of course. He has said a lot of things.
Yeah, Mburu, where you should be ashamed. You supported him. Sisi hatukumsupport, but liwe liwalo. Tunawasaidia kumpatia another 5. Listen to something here. Let me read something for you, Mburu.
Bonnie, can you give Alex as we wait for Jeremiah?
Yeah, Alex, respond. But Alex, before you respond, Buru, we also have another question here. Someone is saying that Mburu thinks that everyone in the central region is supporting Gachagua. Ruto also has silent followers as well. That is,
Mburu was saying something. You didn't hear me. I wasn't audible.
No.
Tukukusikia hata kidogo. Au kuna speaker?
Oh, because I was reading. Oh, I have a document. I've sent it to Mzalendo. Apatie bona weke kwa screen so that we can all see it, eh?
Add tu, unaweza add kwa page, lakini utanitumia.
Nikutumie wapi?
Kwa Africa 24 debate.
WhatsApp. Acha nikuwekee namba hapo.
So now,
Buru, yeah.
Let me
respond. Alex, respond before when he is retrieving the document.
So as I was saying, Mburu, about Ruto, as much as Ruto we might say he has lost the largest group which supported him to be in office, we can't underestimate that guy. That guy is really shrewd. And ukisikia kama kwa ile juzi akiongea alikuwa I think alikuwa Western akisema right now even we know he's campaigning, but amesema right now he's not campaigning, anapanga kazi ile tu, yani alikuwa anaambia his opposers ile yenye by the time we start campaigning you guys will see. So meaning 2027 Ruto, yani ile anawaambia design, you guys are still very young in politics, I know what I'm doing. And if I hear something like that, najua hapo wenyewe. And then also I think a month ago Oscar Sudi said na kura zisipotosha tutaongeza. So meaning these people, we cannot underestimate them. As much as we can remove them from office, you can't underestimate them because Ruto has been there for a very long time, and he knows how things operate. And if he was able to get this one term, he is going to be difficult to it will be difficult to ensure he doesn't get another term. Because we have also seen even the CJ Martha Koome amewekwa kwa mfuko because there are many things. Even the Gachagua case hapa kukuwa na kitu, but what was the presiding, it was very bogus. So we cannot really underestimate Ruto. As much as people want to remove him from office, cannot underestimate what he can do.
Yes, Eli Jere umenitumia?
No, ndo hii namba yako. Let me add you on WhatsApp, eh? But you can keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking to watu waendelee.
Yes, kuna comment section hapa zimejaa. Gipsy Corner, awesome, hapa ni makimbizano. Awesome is saying Gachagua is worse when it comes to corruption. How on earth can someone who has become the most powerful person in Kenya be obligated or forcibly acquiring wealth from his deceased brother? Buru, have you listened to that? That is someone trying to hit on you. Also, someone is saying, you think that everyone in Central Region supports Gachagua, Ruto as well as silent followers in the region. So you should not say that they all support Gachagua or they are going to support totally Gachagua. And also he's trying to say that, Buru, can you respond to that?
Bon, I've sent it to you. You see the document?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I want to start by saying that those who think that things don't change, they remain static, they are badly mistaken. The way things were during the time of Kibaki is not the way things are now. Even how they were during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta is not how they will be during 2027. Things change and people keep becoming wiser every day. So as we said, and as the court pronounced itself, that elections in Kenya will be heading at the polling stations. Whatever will be announced at the polling station should be the same as what shall be announced in the final tallying center. So our work will be very easy to ensure that we have enough agents in each and every polling station to ensure that we capture those numbers, and we shall have our tallying centers, not one, many of them. Yes, we are dealing with a very shrewd person. The good thing is that we are aware of that. He has worked with Rigathi Gachagua. He knows him. He has worked with Kalonzo. We know him. And we are wiser. So don't anybody thinking that he's very good. He's very smart. I can tell you he is not. I also thought the same. You can put that afterward when I'm done with the submission. I also thought that he was going to bring a turnaround to our economy. I thought that he was very smart on how he is going to arrange his politics. But as things are right now, I can tell you he is not as smart as we thought. And I want to say, those who are saying that William Ruto cannot be defeated, I want to disagree with you, totally disagree with you. Only God who cannot be defeated. He's just a human, just like you and me. So don't praise him so much. Don't make him look so special. He is not. He is not. He's just a politician like any other. If we come up with superior strategies, we shall defeat him. Somebody said that Gachagua is very corrupt and he took money from the deceased. That's someone who is not very keen to follow things and also who is very mean with the truth. We followed the proceedings and the conclusion was not that Gachagua stole from the deceased brother. Those were just malicious allegations that were put out there to try to tarnish his name. Even the son to the deceased, the late Gachagua, came out and said, those who are saying that my uncle is corrupt, he has tried to steal from us, is a typical lie that was being put out there by malicious people, those who wanted to just tarnish his name. That was not true. So in terms of corruption, the person who is very corrupt is one, William Ruto. And as Gachagua said, that State House is the citadel of corruption in Kenya. And we should work together, all of us, to say no to corrupt leaders. And we should stop praising our leaders when they are stealing from us outrightly, as we can see. William Ruto had an interest in the airport. That is why he was selling the airport. William Ruto had an interest in the health sector. That is why he decided, instead of restructuring the old system and making it better, he decided to bring a brand new system so that they can steal the money that was there. That is why they are working closely with Atwoli. Atwoli was supposed to protect the NHIF money, but right now they are working together. That guy is supposed to be out there defending the workers, but today he defends the president, whom he is supposed to tell to pay the workers well. You know, and it is pathetic. It is pathetic. So mine is just to ask Kenyans, let us stop supporting this corrupt government. This government of William Ruto, you have seen how he has decided to slay. He has killed, our young people. That is the kind of government we are supporting. We have never had another government supporting the young people when they're trying to criticize the government. That the young people today, they are not comfortable speaking against the government because they are afraid that tomorrow they will disappear, they will be kidnapped. We should be serious and tell the government this is not what we expected when we were supporting you. If anything, like some of you are saying here, I supported the government of William Ruto more than any other person who is speaking here. I had trust in him. I never expected at any given time that anybody will lose his life because William Ruto wants to retain power. I never expected that I would ever witness the brutality that I saw during the time of Gen Zs. We lost so many young people. I never
pale
thought at any
mashinani.
given time that
Ukiwa na watu wako 10, ile mkutano ingine naibu wa rais atakuja ama rais ya kupanga maendeleo, sio ya siasa. Ya siasa tutakuja tujibizane mambo ya siasa, lakini ya...
So I don't know whether that was to tell me to shut up. What is it?
No, that was not intentional. Sorry.
Some of the things that this government have done, the atrocities it has brought to the Kenyan people, made us say, even if we supported this government, we cannot continue supporting this government. It is a ruthless government. Government of people who do not care. They don't care even about taxation and how much they are charging people. They are not transparent. Today, we don't even understand what is happening with the housing program. We just hear about affordable housing, but the information out there is very minimal. People don't know about this thing. What is this affordable housing? How can we get these houses? Are they giving transparent information out there? Then the interest they have in those houses, that is what we are saying. This government is not competent enough to be in the power. It is not. William Ruto is not as competent as we thought when we were supporting him. So we should, anybody who is a critical thinker and who had hopes and who was praying for this government to succeed and to do well can tell by now if they have not done anything tangible, anything serious that can, people can say, even if William Ruto goes right now, we can say he did this and this, which is good for the country. I am yet to see what he has done. Bonnie, let me stop there.
Yes, Buru. Now it's time for Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you listen to what Buru is saying. And in the comment section, I can see a lot of people trying to extend their comments. Jeremiah quitted. Anyone listening to Buru now and listen to his buddies will see the great difference. Wilson Kipkosgei Ayabai saying that Kenyans' average salary are less than 40,000. Basic less, NSSF, SHA, pay, housing, levy. So average pay with the loan deduction to do so. So we have a lot of loans. Currently, people are suffering. That is Gipsy gonna say that Buru, I'm glad you have morals because you were right. Changing your mind for the truth is great to see. And also Mundume's by saying that this one is for, I don't know whether I should read this one for Jeremiah, but they say nimeamini 80% of Wajaluo wamebebewa akili na Raila. Sikia vile Omondi anasema kuhusu Ruto.
We are very proud of that, by the way. Let Baba carry our brains for us, because you see, one thing that Luos will always be known for is we stand for the truth. Raila has stood for the truth in this country. He has given very many personal sacrifices. This past election, Mburu huyu analia the way this administration is very. We told them. Jaden told them. Huyu jamaa si mzuri. Oh. So they went ahead and voted for him to spite Raila. Now they are suffering. They want us to come and rescue you. No, hatukuji. We'll sindikisha hii for another 5 years. As bad as it is. So next time when we tell you this is the direction the country needs to go, you follow us. So Mburu, hiyo uchungu yote, wewe vumilia tu. We have another 8 years to go. 7-8 years or thereabout. Hatutasaidia mtu kutoa Ruto na tuliwaambia siingie. And the uchungu that a lot of Mount Kenyan people are feeling is because Luos are now in government eating. They think it's their birthright to be the ones eating in government. We will eat. This administration is terrible. It is bad. We want it out. But we are not going to be the first one to cast the stone after we had already told people what to do. So, Mdume, bye. I am so happy Baba carries my brain for me. I'm very happy with it. I have no problem with it at all. Eh? And any other Luo, even my mother will tell you she is happy. My father will tell you the same. Hatuna shida nayo. It's not a big deal. However, Bon, I sent to you that document that I wanted Mburu to see. As much as that particular topic imesha enda kidogo, but I just wanted Mburu, did you see this in the newspapers?
You can read for us, please. I can't see on my side. I'm using the phone right now.
This is 13th Parliament, third session, the Senate invitation for submission of memoranda and public hearing. The Constitution of Kenya Amendment number 2, Bill 2024, Senate Bill number 46 of 2024. Okay, and the point why I'm trying to give you this, ntawacha ujijazie what this all means when it's all said and done. Now, Mburu, Bon, when it's done, send it to Mburu so that he can sit down and synthesize it at his own pace after this.
No, I think I have the document. It was already sent to me by someone.
But now, so if you've read it, then I won't even have to read it. What do you think is the strategy behind that? What do you think is the intent?
Is that the document that is talking about the presidential term increment, governors,
Yes.
and the other positions?
Yes.
I want to say that it is unfortunate that this is the kind of politicians that we have. I remember just the other day when William Ruto was campaigning, he said categorically that he will never, let me finish.
No, it was my turn. I just wanted you to confirm that you've read it and you confirmed you've read it. So it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Let me make my point. So, the point is that Ruto is a very shrewd politician. And Banan, there is no politician in Kenya right now who is better than Ruto at playing the political chess game. Now, if you see the way that document is structured, there is no single MP who will oppose it. There is no single governor who will oppose it. There is no single senator who will oppose it. There is no single member of county assembly who will oppose it. If that thing goes into a referendum, what do you think is going to happen? And there's a post for a prime minister there. What do you think that position is for? Who, or rather maybe not even what, who do you think that position is probably for? So we can make all the noise we want, but Ruto is already positioning his chess pieces for the inevitable position that Raila doesn't get to the AU thing, right? He comes, he will dangle that to Raila, give it to Raila, and he knows that all MPs will pass it, all governors will pass it, they will campaign for it. Yeah? And it will sail through. At the end of the day, Ruto will have Raila on his side for 2027 elections. Wafanye, wamalize, whatever happens to Kenya after that, he doesn't care. And that's the unfortunate scenario where I agree with you, Mburu, that we have political leaders that are not motivated by moving the country forward. They just they don't want to do things for posterity. They do things that serve their interest for now. When they leave office, they really don't care what happens to the rest of us. And that's absolutely unfortunate. And I agree with you, Mburu, on that. But that is what we are, that is the reality we are facing. So, Gachagua apige kelele only once. Siku ile tana kufinywa mzuri, hakuna mtu atamfuata.
Nilikuwa nataka kusema hivi kwanza, that I have never been in opposition before, except during the time of Moi, and by then I was still a young boy. But this is the first time I have been in opposition, and I can tell you I am enjoying every moment because
Are you sure you're in the position, Buru?
I am already in opposition. 100%.
Have you resigned from UDA?
Myself?
Have you resigned
a long time ago.
If you go into political party registers, you will come out as a member of which party?
You exactly know what you exactly know what I am saying. So don't just try to turn a bright eye to what I'm trying to say.
No. Buru,
but
if your mouth says you have left, but you are still a registered member there, you're still a registered member there. If you leave, resign from UDA. Get to another party.
We have left UDA, and in fact, I don't want to see anything yellow around me. Even the T-shirt of Bonnie. Even the T-shirt of Bonnie. I almost told Bonnie to go and change the T-shirt, only to realize that it is from the football team that he supports. Anything yellow.
Yeah.
Anything yellow, we don't want to see it. So we don't belong to UDA. We don't want to hear the word UDA. Actually, even now, I'm getting irritated. But anyway, let me say this. It's also unfortunate that Jeremiah, you are saying you are supporting you are supporting Ruto because he is working with Baba. It is also good to start thinking independently. I know when I listen to you.
I'm not supporting Ruto. Don't get me wrong. I'm not supporting Ruto.
Good.
I just don't have the interest of removing it.
You are supporting Ruto in one side, and on the other side, you are saying he is not good. It's okay. You are trying to balance. But whether he is working with Baba or not, let us be categorical. He is not good for Kenya. He is not good for Kenya. Let us tell those who are listening to us the truth that he is not the best president for Kenya. And somebody has said there that it's good that I have changed the mind and I'm now not supporting this government of Kenya Kwanza. I was a staunch supporter. I even used some of my resources to campaign for William Ruto. I have so many Facebook pages. Some of you don't know that they were created during campaign, and I was the one supporting those pages. Almost, okay, let me not even go to that direction. I did a lot of campaign because I believed that William Ruto was going to bring change to the Republic of Kenya. But I want to say, yes, I made a mistake. We made a mistake. I made a mistake. And making a mistake is not bad. What is wrong is to repeat a mistake again. I already know who is William Ruto. I don't know what he can do for us to change our mind. We have seen how he cracked down those young people who came out to oppose his government and his policies. That was unexpected. We have seen those people on the social media who were criticizing the government. We have seen what they have gone through. That's very unfortunate. Those are things that we don't expect to happen in a civilized society. That because Jeremiah here is disagreeing with me, that I start now to think how he can be eliminated. I mean, that is being inhuman. The best word I can say is that William Ruto is an animal. Sasa ile sio yenye huwa tunasema kwa Kiswahili ni kama mnyama. Sasa hapa ni ile unasema huyu ni mnyama. Kwa sababu on the face ile tunaona mtu wa Bwana asifiwe kanisani, tuibe wimbo wa kusifu, lakini jaribu umpige kidogo hivi. Kumpiga tu kidogo hivi, unakujiwa na unapotea. Kuna watu wengi sana saa hii wako kaburini, wamekufa, wameaga, wameenda, wamesahaulika. Hao ni watoto wa watu, kama wale ndugu zako, kama wale dada zako, kama wale watoto wa Ruto tu. Lakini mimi inaudhisha sana nikiona watu wanauawa kwa sababu ya kisiasa, kwa sababu maybe wana decampaign the government, or because they are speaking out their mind. That should never happen, even in the banana republic. So because of the things that the government of Kenya Kwanza has done, myself, I want to say that I regret supporting it. And also I want to say it's unfortunate, kama vile Jeremiah amesema, hii serikali imesema ya kwamba wanataka waongeze term ya president from 5 years to 7 years. It's very, very unfortunate.
Jeremiah amesema there's a national parliamentary document that I shared. Si mimi nimesema ni document ya parliament.
I already have it, and you agreed with me that such a move is an unfortunate move. It is only good to the politicians, but not to the people of Kenya. Na hapo ndipo ninasema hapa, nitawaambia ukweli kabisa, wa Kenya msikubali. Politicians wote, hata wale wenye wanafuata Gachagua na wenye wanafuata sijui Natembea na Kinyamatiangi, wengi wao karibu wote watasupport hiyo document, kwa sababu it is favoring the politicians, but it is not favoring the people of Kenya. Kwa hivyo hapa wa Kenya, hata tukue peke yetu, lazima tukue na vile tutajikinga kutokana na huu, kwa sababu huu ni uhasama against the Republic of Kenya. Tumepiga hatua nyingi sana, but we cannot risk having such leaders for 14 years. Maana ni vigumu sana, nina hiyo tunajua, ni vigumu sana rais kwenda one term. Kwa hivyo William Ruto wakichange katiba na mkumbuke huyu mtu ni muongo sana. During campaign Boni, William Ruto said that he will never attempt to change the constitution. He said he will never try to increase his term in office. He is doing the opposite. That is how untruthful he is. That is how shrewd he is. But we are the people to tell him no. Sio lazima chenye chochote unataka kiende vile unataka. Tayari watu wamewekwa uoga, watu wanaogopa kuongea, lakini lazima tuongee na tupiganie nchi yetu. Na mahali pana makosa tuseme hayo ni makosa. Kwa hivyo mimi nauliza wa Kenya, tupinge na tukatae mambo ya kubadilisha presidential term na hizo term zingine zote za governor na MP na MMCA. Hawa wote hawatakuwa pamoja na sisi. Maana nani angetaka kuenda kwa ofisi bila kupigwa for another 2 years? So tafadhali, hiyo it is upon us to decide to fight until they fail to do that. Mkumbuke ya kwamba Uhuru Kenyatta had the same plan. He had not planned to go home. That is why he wanted, after serving his 10 years term, he wanted to become a prime minister. Na diposa unaona walikuwa wamepanga vizuri na Raila Odinga na wakaleta BBI. Lakini koti ilitusaidia sana. Wanasiasa walipitisha kila mahali. Koti ndio ilitusaidia. Nimjue ya kwamba mahakama inaweza tusaidia ama ikose kutusaidia. Ikikosa kutusaidia, sisi wa Kenya tunaweza kujisaidia. Muliona Gen Z venye walifanya, they forced the government to do what is right. Sasa hii isikuwe ati itakuwa ni mambo ya Gen Z, itakuwa ni mambo ya Wakenya wote kujipigania na kusema no, this is not the direction that we should take, because it is the wrong direction. Ni kumaliza nchi, ni urafi, what we call greediness, and we have to refuse in the strongest terms possible. Thank you, Bob.
Yes,
Mburu,
yes,
Mburu,
yes.
I want to request you very humbly, as you have self-confessed that you made a mistake in voting for Ruto in 2022. Allow other Kenyans to make their mistake and vote for that document. It will happen. It will happen. I'm not even lying to you. Allow, you made a mistake, you learned you made a mistake, you are correcting it. Allow the other population to make their mistake, for that document. Itaenda, it will go, and that is the reality. If it goes, and Ruto already has learned that the courts protect people if things are not done procedurally. The way that document is designed, you will follow procedure to the letter. If you go to the courts will say, but this has really been done above board. Who are we to overturn the will of the people? And it will go. And that is the level of shrewdness of this particular administration. And when you look at it, to go to the grounds, MCA amesha serve 5 years. Let's say he was a first time MCA. It's even better kama any second term MCA. Asha serve 10 years. Alafu namuongezea 7 juu ya hiyo. Miaka 17 hiyo kwa leadership. Kama ni first term MCA, amesha serve 5. Unamuongezea 7, 12 years. Which MCA will mobilize people to vote against that? So that document is very scary, but it's where we are. And for us who did not vote for us who did not vote for this administration, tunasikia uchungu, but not as bad as wale walipigia kura. That's why we are saying, wacha tuumie tu sisi wote. We gave our fair advice and said, guys, forget. The former president said, this guy is not good for this country. Don't. This guy has ulterior motives for this country. But certain group of people voted for him to spite another group of people. Now we are all suffering. Hatuwezi hama.
We had no choice.
Hatuwezi fanya nini? Yeah?
We had no choice. We had no choice because Raila Odinga was not the better option.
It was the best option. It was the best option.
He was not.
But
even
of course
today, if today the only choice I have is between William Ruto and Raila Odinga, I would vote for William Ruto again.
Oh, you see at the level
that
of
is where we are. That is where we are.
Hapo ndio uchungu. Hiyo hapo ndio uchungu imetulemea. And so when I hear you say that, Mburu, when I hear you say that, allow me to be happy that Raila is thinking, carrying 80% of my brain. I am happy ananibebea because I know he means well. When the way unaongea about Ruto, and then ati umepewa Ruto na Raila, you'd rather Ruto again.
Napigia Ruto tena.
I rest my case.
Yes, that is Jeremiah. We have Ashley, for a long time. Ashley, I have not seen you in Africa 24. Welcome to Africa 24. We are discussing Kenya Kwanza government.
Happy
now,
New Year.
We have this group of people who are saying that the president should be given another term, or the presidential term limit should be increased. Do you think that the government is worthy to be given another term, or the term limit of the president to be increased? Ashley.
Yes, happy New Year. I hope everybody is doing good. Maybe he needs more time to kill more people. Wajaisha bado. His mandate is not over. Because no one in their right mind would give him another day. Today, they just found dead. When people are being abducted and killed, and then people still want, you wonder what kind of fools live in this country. You know, where are people who have balls? You know, there is you either choose life or you choose death. But why should you live in a country where your freedom is taken away like a slave? It defeats. Now, you sound very foolish, by the way. Because unasema tuko government tunakula. Wewe unakula nini? You are eating nothing. If I can guess that. You just watch people eat, and then you talk like that. If you listen to yourself.
Actually, you should apologize to Omondi.
No, it is true. It is true. He sounds very. No, by the way, you know, even the people who are being killed, they are not only of one tribe.
But Ashley, let me ask you, Ashley.
No, don't interfere. I was so quiet. No, I want to know.
Just a quick one, please.
No. Just write it down. Just hold your peace. Hold your peace. Because I was almost screaming while you were talking. You know what, you guys? We are in a bad situation. Raila was no better because he has joined the man he claims to steal from him. One thing he doesn't have is called integrity. Because if someone has stolen from you, imagine someone coming and stealing your wife, and then you become their best man. And then people follow you. Even that person following you should go and look in the mirror and ask themselves if they have a mental problem. You know, there is a lot of stupidity in Kenya, a lot of it. Na ndio tuliitwa shithole. Because mtu anatuangalia anatuona wajinga. Sasa mtu anasema, let us make our mistake. Guess what? Other countries are busy building their countries. Na sisi tunacheza game. Na hizi games tunacheza watu wanakufa kama roaches. Right now, yesterday, I tried to help someone get, I was calling a hospital and I asked them about she and Sha. They said, are you a civil servant? That's the only she and Sha they are taking if you're a civil servant. Anybody else has to pay. Now, I was paying for somebody. This person cannot afford to go if I don't pay for them. What does that say about someone who has nobody to pay for them? And we are here joking about it. That I'm not abusing anybody, but it is the reality. The policies, in fact, just the shisha is a crime against humanity. You know where Ruto is not shrewd. Ruto is not, please, let me finish. Ruto is not shrewd. It is that he's ruling fools. And he's ruling fools. He's not shrewd. He just has fools. A lot of them. Because you know how Ibrahim Traore ends up his statement when he's talking? He ends up something and says, or death. That should be the thing. Your end should be or death. Freedom or death. And if that became the policy of most Kenyans, we could have taken Ruto out as soon as yesterday. And even the politicians we have now, they are joking. They took him to court the other day. And I had, it's politics. The thing they went to present before the court is for him to have a mental checkup. Yani, it is something to kumkasirisha. We have passed the age of kumkasirisha. I wish one of these politicians' kids are killed so that they can become serious and stop politicking and start becoming serious. I wish even they took that kid of Muturi and actually took him where they take the others that are found dead. Because then they would stop joking and actually become serious when one of their children faces the same things that our children are facing. Because let me tell you, Omondi, all those kids being killed, they are not Kikuyus. Actually, they are mostly Luos. You know, there are many tribes, but the majority are Kikuyu and Luos. And then the other tribes are here and there. So it is not a tribe thing, but our leaders would rather that we fight against tribe. Ukisema tunakula, wanakula nini? Huyo mjaluo ameenda amekufa juu hakuweza kuaffordisha. Ana benefit nini? Raila is good. His family is good. His child is in East African MP. His other sister is in America as a ambassador or something. His brother is a senator, even though he's almost 100 years old. And he's been given a lot of money to do a campaign. The guy the other guy who he's competing with is not using as much money. Kenya has no money, but they have money to give him money to go and waste, to look for a position that he can look for without using so much money. And we are here clapping. That is the level of our stupidity. Na hiyo stupidity ndio inafanya watu wetu wakufe. That is why we have a high mortality rate that even people cannot live. Kufikisha 70 is a blessing. We don't have old people. Have you ever asked yourself why the majority of the many people majority are youth? And let me tell you, wengi hawatafikisha hata 40. At this rate, wanauliwa. And we are taking we alafu tunajoke hapa ni kama tunaongea about sports. It's like we're talking about soccer. It's like we're talking about football. Guys, people are dying and that is not even a thing to you. Yani, we've become so insensitive that we can sit here and politique and say who is coming. Gachagua is the one who was saying watasamehea Ruto. Anaweza enda bila kulipa tax. Hawatamfuata hakulipa nini, they corrupt, they stole the money from the government. Nobody followed them. He was saying, hiyo tutamuachia, tutamfuata, tutampatia peace. Who are you to decide who to give peace to? Who are you to decide who pays taxes and who doesn't pay taxes? Where is fairness? Where is equality? Guys, like the last election, people should have said we will not vote because Raila wasn't worth it and Ruto wasn't worth it. So we were choosing the better of the two evils. And it looks like they were not both qualified because if Raila had any integrity, hangekuwa amejoin Ruto out of principle. Now huyu ndio mnaita statesman. What is your definition of statesman? Like sometimes I just sit here and I am like, hii ujinga yetu ndio itatuua. It will finish us. Let me tell you something. Juzi nimesikia president akisema ati huyu president mpya wa America akisema ati what they'll do, watalipa countries zingine zichukue makrimino zale wale wataki. Juu wameona zile country ni jinga, unaweza mlipa achukue watu wale filth, uchafu yenyu. Do you know kwa nini wajapeleka watu Haiti? Because wataki watu wao wakufe. That is the reason. Na wanaambia watu, hatujapeleka watu wetu, we've succeeded kuleta wa troops zetu back home. Juu sasa tumeona wajinga wa kupeleka, tunawapatia pesa. Sasa tumekuwa ni kama slavery, tunafanywa. Tunauzwa. Tunapatiwa pesa, unapelekwa places we don't need to be. Na sasa hivyo ni ujinga. Sasa huyu Ruto amekuwa ni kama wale slave traders wa kitambo. Anapewa pesa, anapatia na watu. He doesn't care what people say. Juzi America wametoa hiyo federal aid. Unaona watu waliwaka. Hiyo kitu ilitolewa within 24 hours. Why can't we do the same in Kenya? Sasa unaona wajinga wanasema tutasupport Ruto. Na sasa hiyo ana sink ship na hiyo ship pia wao uko ndani utazama. How do you know kesho kama ni mamako atakufa? Because hakuweza kuafford hiyo shisha. How do you know kama kesho ni relative yako atashikwa? That you will find them dumped somewhere. Na una support. Like what's wrong with us, guys? The worst thing about slavery is that slaves eventually get to like it. Poverty is not an accident. That's what Nelson Mandela said. He said, like slavery and apartheid, it is man-made and it can be removed by the actions of human beings. Our enslavement, these leaders are taking us for fools because we have accepted to be treated as fools. We are educated, yet we want to be treated as fools. Watu wote tunasema tulete. Matiang'i did the same things what Ruto is doing. And yet we can sit here and suggest him to be the alternative to Ruto. Yet we can sit here and suggest Kalonzo. Kalonzo ule juzi alikuwa anataka NADCO. Alitumwa na watu wa Azimio and kutetea watu lower cost of living. He came out with NADCO. NADCO was going to increase the cost of living because wakipewa hiyo opposition office, where was the money going to come for paying them? Wasn't that going to increase the tax, the wage bill? Where was the money going to come from? Taxes, or not? If not from taxes, for the money that we are supposed to use for development, because they were going to be paid, money was going to come from somewhere, or they were going to get a loan and pay them and put it. Hiyo ndio ujinga tuko nayo. Sasa tunafurahia ati wata extend term, wataweka prime minister, sijui wataweka nini. Where is that money going to come from? They are going to shortchange us. Alafu unasema tunakula. Wewe unakula na nani? Niambie ni pesa ngapi umekula Omondi, please. Now answer.
Actually, I wish you had that much passion about Ruto and this administration before we went and voted. And when I say that I'm happy, I'm not saying that Ruto is good. What I'm saying is that my conscience is very clear because I knew he was not good for the country and I did not vote for him. People who should be worried, I don't know who voted for you, but I know that Mburu voted for Ruto. That's why, you know, when you helped to cause the mess, you feel more pain than somebody who didn't help to cause the mess.
Okay, let me ask you this now. Ule Raila alisema ameibiwa kura, sahi yuko na Ruto. That means hata ule mtu alivotia Raila should also not feel good that now other people, there is nobody who should regret. You want any feel. They are both feel. Wait, actually. Now, ukiangalia, let me finish. Ukiangalia mtu kama Junet, ukiangalia mtu kama Joho, ukiangalia mtu kama Badi, ukiangalia kama Orango vile ameiba huko kwake, ukiangalia watu kama Wanga, then you look at people like Ishongwa, like even their lieutenants are the same. So they are monkeys of the same they are monkeys of the same caliber in different forests. So it does not matter if you voted for Ruto. It does not matter if you voted for Raila, because right now they are eating and they are oppressing Kenyans together. That means if you voted for Raila, he would have done maybe not the same things, but equally as bad. Already they were telling us they will force BBI down our throats, even though we had already told them we don't want it. Their first course of action was to bring BBI, even though the cost of living was already high. So they were both not worthy to be in the polls. And hii election ingine tunaenda, tunafaa tuseme atuitaki. Tuende koti, tuambie koti, atutaki election. We want this government at the end of the 5-year term to be handed over to the military. We want a cleansing. We want a restructuring of government. And right now, the choices we have are not good. We are going back to what we had in 2022, in 2027 with the same monkeys. Wame change forest. Ata juzi Gachagua amesema ati wacha tu juzi ati wacha niweke party. Kuna watu wananiambia they want to come. So those MPs who are in Ruto's government, since wameona imekuwa unfavorable, they want to shift. So again, they will shift camp and then come this side again wachaguliwe the same people. Yani tutachukuliwa wana mpaka lini? How long are we going to be stupid? Let me tell you, Raila, the reason I did not support him in 2017, 2018, I supported him. And he made so many people get in trouble when he was being supported. There were people that Uhuru government was following people, it was threatening people. He did not consider all that when he went to shake the hand of Uhuru. He did not consider all the people who died for him in 2017, 2018, when he went to shake the hand of Uhuru. He did not consider all the crimes that Uhuru had done. He went to shake another person's hand who he claimed had stolen from him. He helped him in his government. He kept quiet when he was doing wrong. When all those bodies were being thrown in Livayara, I didn't hear him speak. He had no other authority to even you as his supporter. You are in the same category as somebody who voted for Ruto. You are no better. You have no standing. You have no moral authority to come here and say that people should regret. Guess what? Even me, if they were brought back together, I would say they both go. They both go. None is better than the other. That is what you're not understanding. And in me, it had nothing to do with hating Raila. It was about what he did in 2017, 2018, when I voted for him, when I was threatened because of him. And then when he went to shake Uhuru's hand, he didn't consider the people who had sacrificed for him. Some to the point of shedding blood. Some to the point of that they are not alive even today. And then again, he has repeated the same habit in this year and gone to Ruto without considering all the people that are getting killed. He has no moral authority. And I feel not even 1 iota of regret for not choosing him over Raila, over Ruto, because he is no better. His lieutenant, even now at what wamewekwa kwa government, akina Joho, akina Junet, are in the same caliber as akina Ishongwa. So no, we are not better, and nobody should feel bad because they voted for Ruto. Because guess what? We would have had maybe even worse had we voted for Raila.
Yes. Actually, we missed you in Africa 24. I can see how gentlemen here are checking Buru.
Ashri huwa anatukalia 9-0.
That is why I missed. Yeah.
I know I am tough,
given.
but
That is
Listen,
given.
no, Buru. Let
That
Buru
is given.
respond.
That is given, Buru. It's okay, but still, Ashley has said a lot of things. But what I take out of everything she said is everyone is bad. Ashley, do you think there's anyone who can be a good president in Kenya? Do you have someone, because you put it like everyone is bad, period. Do you have someone in mind you think would be a good president for Kenya, Ashley?
I think right now what we need someone like what is happening in Burkina Faso. We need to have the military take over. We need to have them restructure our government so that we can line up. I don't know. The only person that comes to mind that people don't like is Okia Omtata. He has proven himself, but people keep saying he's not charismatic. I don't think Kibaki was charismatic. I don't know how he would rule. I don't know whether he would be a good ruler. One thing I know is that he has shown that he has upheld the constitution. He has been constant when he wasn't in the Senate. He has been constant when he's in the Senate. Now, as a president, I don't know whether he can do it. And since I don't know, I personally think we need to hand this over to the military. Na wacha nikuambie, our people need to rise up that are serious. Badala ya kupeleka Ruto kotini ati mental health. Already, he has gone against the constitution. There is a way that the people, there is a two ways we can rule. We can exercise our power either directly or through our elected leaders. Since our elected leaders have been captured, I worry and I wonder why has someone not come forward, gone to court and petitioned the court to explain how can we exercise our power directly? Because we can actually, as the people, go to court to impeach the president. Kwa nini tuende tufanye mental health? Wacha akitolewa ataenda afanye mental health ama kufe nayo. We don't care whether he's mentally incapable or not. One thing we know, he has gone against the constitution and he should be out. And again, why should we wait for him to change the constitution? Why can't someone go? You know, when you have a lease, but your landlord comes and tells you at the end of your lease, let me finish that one. Let me finish this one about the lease. When you have a lease, maybe a yearly lease, the landlord can come and tell you within 60 days before the lease is up that you're not renewing your lease. So we need to go to court and already tell the court that we are not renewing Ruto's lease. The contract was a 5-year term. Whether he has formed IBC, whether he has done anything, he should leave at the term of 5 years. Just like IBC, Chapukati left and it was left vacant, and we need to do it before. Yani tusifanye vitu reactionary, tukue watu wa kufanya proactive. We go to court, we say at the end of the 5-term lease, contract, all of them should go. Kama hakuna elections, we hand over to the military. But whether they have formed or not formed, there will not be crisis. And we, the people, give them 5 years. If we are not able to remove them before the 5 years, we should because they have breached the contract. And that is what I'm saying. I don't see seriousness because I don't see anyone who has gone to court to ask for them to be removed as because they have breached the contract. When we have a representative, ata Ruto juzi alisema, we chose him, but we don't choose him to think for us. We chose him to represent us. We chose him to represent our wishes because we cannot all go to represent our wishes. The president represents the people of Kenya, but he doesn't think for us. We didn't atukumpatia brains zetu kama vile Omondi amepatia yake kwa Raila. We have not done that. We have asked him to represent our wishes. So whether he likes something kama housing, he should enforce it. Na haelewi kazi yake. If he was even going to come out for any other reason, because he does not understand his job. His job is not to think for us. His job is to represent us. Thank you. Sorry.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Ashley, are you a Kenyan?
Of course.
Are you over 18 years?
Can you present your point, please?
My point is, you see what you are saying, that somebody should go to court and do this. Who are you waiting to go to? If you see it that clearly, you are over 18, you are a Kenyan, you qualify to do that petition. Why can't you step up? Or who are you waiting for to step up? If you are seeing the problem, why are you not stepping up? You see, that is the problem.
Because
If you see the problem, maybe the rest of Kenyans don't see the problem you are seeing. If you are seeing it very clearly and you can express it so vividly, you are a Kenyan over 18 years, you are a citizen, I take it you are of sane mind, so you can swear an affidavit. Why haven't you gone to court yourself and started that petition?
You know, Omondi, it is good that you're asking that to Ashley, why she has not stepped out. But I want to tell you that stepping out or stepping up is in different forms. Even coming here in the show, it is, you know, she's doing better than many people who are just out there just watching and listening to what is happening, but they don't want to contribute. So even coming here,
I wish you would let Ashley answer me. My question was for her.
It's okay.
I want Ashley
to
answer me.
She's going to. No, she's going. We are in the debate, all of us, and she is also going to get the time.
But my question was addressed to her.
It's okay. It's okay. You have been having this exchange for a long time. It's okay. I wanted to say this. Even coming in the show and speaking out what you feel in your mind and in your heart is also stepping up and telling the government that we are not happy with what you are doing. And I think I also try to understand why Ashley feels how she feels and why she's talking passionately with some kind of bitterness. It is because she has lived, or she lives in America. And those of us who live outside the country, they have seen what we call governance, good governance. Today, when you look at the politics of Kenya, you may think that in the next 1 month, we are going to have a general election because it is like we are in a campaign season. Those who are in the government, they're always on the vehicles, on top of the roofs, campaigning, when they're supposed to be settled in the office working. Campaign is in 2027, but you might think next month we are going to have general elections. You cannot see such a thing in America or any other developed country. So that's why she feels how she feels, because the way we do things in a, what I can call confused way, disorganized way. We don't have time to work. We are always in campaign, which is very unfortunate. And I think it should reach a time when Kenyans should start asking governments very hard questions, because it doesn't mean because they're in the office that they're our bosses. No, we the citizens, we the people remains the boss. We should be asking them very hard questions. Like, for how long shall we continue to witness people who are innocent die through the bullets from the police, extrajudicial killing? Why should it be happening in Kenya? Why should anybody die because of a politician? For how long shall we continue to persevere to see our people being killed by politicians? It should reach a point where we have now to start asking very hard questions. It is after asking ourselves very hard questions that we can demand for a paradigm shift, because everything in Kenya has been accepted, or every evil has been accepted in Kenya. Corruption is the order of the day. They don't see anything wrong with it. Everywhere you go, they will ask you for money as if it is normal. Everywhere you go, they expect you, apart from the services that they are supposed to give you, They're expecting you to give them something. I mean, corruption is the end of the day. It is there in the system. I don't know, but we have to decide. This has to come to an end. We have to decide that these killings must come to an end. The only way we can do that is, one, we have to speak out like the way we are speaking. We have to tell the government how we feel. And also, like somebody said, somebody asked Ashley, why are you not going to the courts? That can be also another option. The people in diaspora, we can decide. We have to help our country. We can be contributing money and hire lawyers to oppose those things and those programs that we feel they don't support the common people. We need to come together and think, what kind of interventions can we be making apart from just talking? But now the problem is, sometimes we talk and we start things and people become popular, then they join politicians and they become like them. But like Ashley said, if we don't change and if the government does not change the way it has been doing things, and I'm not saying we have had any good government, because people have been dying. Kenyans have been dying like cockroaches from the time of Kenyatta, the time of Moi, time of Kibaki, time of Uhuru. Now in the time of Ruto, people are still dying. Now, Kenyans, we must get tired and say, no, we cannot be ruled like this. This kind of dictatorship must stop. And the question is, if they don't stop ruling us like that, what should we do? That is the big question. And Ashley gave us one of the options. The military can rise up, and also Kenyans can decide, no, this time around, it is not about my tribe. It is about getting that person that you feel can be the best for the country. We have very serious people like Maraga. But if he contests today to become the president, how many people will vote for him? A Kikuyu, like myself, might say, oh, one of our own is in the ballot. A Luya will say, no, I have to vote for someone who belongs to our tribe. So we have to start changing the way we see things. And we should even ourselves demand, we want so and so in the ballot. That person that we feel, I'm just proposing, and I'm just using Maraga as an example. There might be other better people, but I'm saying one of those serious people who can bring change in Kenya is someone like Maraga, because we saw how he handled judiciary. So at least we have remnants. What we should be asking ourselves, who are the remnants that we can bring on board in politics, and we support them to bring change to our country? That is what I can say.
Perfect, Guru. Perfect,
Oh.
Guru. Eli, I can see in the comment section we have Awesome, we have Gipsy Corner, we have Joshua Awor, and Joshua Awor is asking this question to Ashley. You're saying this is not a Freak 24 comment. Ashley is a joker at the military takeover. Does she listen to herself? Military role? Are the military things? Myopic, feminine, root all the way. That is for Ashley. I also, someone has said, I have walked through the street of different channels and I have seen how many views, how many people change depending on different channels. That is Gipsy Corner. Hey, Jeremiah, what do you have to say? You listen to what Buru said.
Did you mention me, Bon?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Mburu, I respect Mburu's view, and I agree with him on a lot of things. But and I agree with everything he says about this administration and where this administration is taking the country. I agree with him on everything 100%. But I tend to feel that he's being hypocritical, he's not being honest, is being minimal with the truth, because as much as he's really put Ruto as this really bad guy, put up against an untested president, Raila, he says he will go back and vote for Ruto. Guru, the moment you said that, it's not because I'm supporting Raila. If that question had been Ruto against somebody else, and you said Ruto still, to be honest, all of your comments have lost 90% of their weight, in my view. If something is bad, it's bad to and fro. There is no way you can tell us how this presidency, this administration is so bad, but then in some scenario, you would still vote it back. That is hypocritical, Mburu, in all honesty. I would tell you that. Yeah? And I'll leave that at that. Your comments about how bad this president are, as much as I agree with them, in my world, they've lost 90% of their weightage, in my view, because I believe that they are not very honest. Because if you really believed Ruto was this bad, you'd say anyone, but not Ruto. Because, and we said this before, a lot of the voting that went Ruto's way in Mount Kenya region was emotional. And even you, Mburu, yourself, you said it on this show before, that Mount Kenya voters vote emotionally. They vote with their emotions. And I can tell you this for a fact. A lot of the votes that went Ruto's way in Mount Kenya were not because you guys liked Ruto. It was because you didn't like that Jaden was coming to you with Raila, who in your world in Mount Kenya has been the demon, has been the boogeyman. The one is used to scare people to go to sleep, to scare babies to go to sleep. You've never given him a chance to see what he can do. Yeah? And I think that still carries on in your statement. And it's very disappointing, to say the least, Mburu. That is one. Two, let me explain something. Mburu, you've explained to us endless times on this show the psyche of the Mount Kenya voter, how the Mount Kenya voters reason when it comes to the election period. Let me also give you a little bit of a psyche of a very traditional Luo Nyanza voter, right? Whether we are in Nairobi or in Kisumu or in Siaya or where. And that's why I'm so proud to say I don't mind Raila having my brain for me, 80% of the time. We, at this moment, more than any other time, in this past election, Mount Kenya's very own Jaden told Mount Kenyan voters, you guys, this Ruto is not good for this country. I've worked with him. He does not mean well for this country. You guys don't try. Jaden tried his best. But because of emotions, Mount Kenya people voted for him and he got to the presidency. Now he's bringing out his true colors, right? And then everyone is hurting, everyone is crying. But for us, the Luo, and I'm giving you all the psyche, I wish I could tell it to you in Luo so that you understand, so that the point would really get home. This is not our mistake. It's not our making. We are not going to be the ones to step up and to try to fix it. Because when we do that, it's our children who die. When we step up to try to fix issues, Mount Kenya people come and say we are disturbing the economic stability of the city of Nairobi because we don't have property in Nairobi. We go back and throw stones in Kisumu and Siaya. This time around, we've decided, wacha tunyamaze, sisi hatuna title deed ya Kenya. Sisi hatuna another country where when Kenya goes wrong, tutakimbia tuende. Tulisema wacha tu watu watumie, we tried.
The
So
problem with you
as everyone
was
is hurting, as
the
everyone is
problem with
hurting,
you was
as
the
everyone is
problem with
hurting, actually just let me finish. So as everyone is hurting Mburu, we also feel the pain. We really wish we could help change it. But we are content in the fact that we did not support this administration to get in place. We did not agree with it. And we are okay with where we are. We are not saying that it's a good administration. We are not saying that Ruto is taking Kenya in the right direction. I've always told you this, Mburu, and you know this, that this administration is taking Kenya the wrong way very fast. And Ruto, and I remember you asked me this question, and I told you that Ruto is a despot. He's very fast on the fast lane to being a despot. He's heading there so fast that it's unimaginable. Yeah? But any Luo will tell you it's not a mistake of our making, and we knew that it was not going to be a good ride if Ruto gets to the presidency, and we warned Kenyans as such. But because of emotions, people went the other way. Sasa watu waumie tu, we are okay, but we are not going to be the first one to step up and say Ruto atoke. No, we want to do that.
And it's good that you won't do that, because you would do that with bringing Raila, and people don't want him. But if you are coming to help us rescue Kenya without a predetermined Raila to take over, then I think we would work together. I think as you sit down on the sidelines, I don't think anybody is going to ask you to join if you're bringing us Raila, because Raila is helping Ruto right now. So he is no better. So what you're doing is good by sitting on the sideline, because your alternative is not wanted either. They are the same, in the same, they are all in the same bundle. So it's like they're all in the same basket of deplorables.
So be it.
Yes.
It's bad where we are. Things are terrible. Yeah.
You know
But
what? And
like I said, I'm just giving you the psyche of my people, my nation. Just
yeah,
like
and they are going to continue to suffer. They are going to continue to suffer while Raila is enjoying himself. So I think you are going to be satisfied looking at him eating until you snap out of your until you snap out. Because Raila will never be accepted, because he has proved that he's an opportunist. He's not a leader. He's a dealer. And you still want to insist that it is him you want to front. If you brought us somebody else, I think we would work with you. But as long as you keep fronting Raila, you will keep sitting on the sidelines and eating from those mabakshishi zile anapatiwa na government. Each government that comes in anapatiwangwa mabakshishi, and he disrespects himself. He has no self-worth, that he does not even have the worth. Let me finish. Self-worth. Unajua kuna ile mtu anasema out of principle I will not take that. You cannot steal from me and then
mpatie time yake amalize ndio mjibu.
No, I asked her the question, Mburu akamshield. I want to ask her that question again. Mburu alimshield and she muted, but she's back. Ashley, you are a Kenyan, I take it. You are over 18, I take it. You are of sane mind, I take it. Who is this person that you're waiting for, that saying, tungoje mtu aende kwa court? Why are you not able to do that? Forget what Mburu is saying, that even coming on the platform. Kuja on the platform is one thing. You're doing this from the comfort of your home. Why haven't you taken the mantle and said, and like Wangari Maathai said, I'm a hummingbird, but I will do what I can do. Why haven't you done something about that? That's the only question I'm asking you, Ashley. And Mburu zijaribu kumshield tena.
I'm capable of defending myself, but I think you've answered your own question by saying doing what you can do. I am doing what I can do. Someone else is going to do what they can do. And that's the thing. We are like a body. The country is like a body. There are legs, there are toes, there are eyes, there are hands, there is a mouth, there is a brain. So everybody to do what they can do or what they feel best able to do. So this information I'm sending out there, after I have done what I can do, somebody else who has access that can do what I am suggesting they do, that's why I'm putting it out there so that they can also do what we can do. When we all do what we can do, I think our country is going to function. When we all have the best interest of our country at heart and work towards that goal, our country will prosper. But if we help the oppressor to pull it down, guess what? We are going to become the laughingstock of the world until the day more than half of the country will be on one page. Until then, some of us will just watch from the sidelines and just pray that, our salvation comes sooner. I wish we all could take the national anthem where it says, to chikana water, kama mandugu, we can't all go to court. Just as the same way I was saying, we can't all be representatives. Na kuna mtu amesema ati Kenya is a democracy. What is a democracy? A democracy is the government of the people by the people of the people. And that is not what we are. That is what we ought to be. And that is why I said, if I look at somewhere like Burkina Faso, I see them restructuring. Our country, even the people who are being suggested in 2027, they are not better than who are in power now. And I know you said we should give Raila an opportunity to see what we can do. Have you ever seen when people go to an interview, especially the high level position, they ask for 10 years of experience or 15 years of experience?
Actually, let me correct you. I did not say Raila specifically. I did not. By the way, at no point have I tried to push Raila I just said someone else. Yes, I'm a Raila supporter. But when you try to say that I'm giving Raila as an option, that is not what I said. Let me just correct that.
The people from Luo Nyaza have never given anybody else as an option but Raila. And everybody who goes against Raila is vilified. Starting with Jalango, starting with Miguna.
So that's a different story.
Well, it's not. Because when you say you want to come and help us fight, when we remove Ruto, let me ask you.
I'm not proposing Raila.
Can we have one person? Can we have one person? Let Ashley finish, then you go ahead.
I want to ask you, tuseme mkuja mtusaidie sasa, tuseme sisi wote tuna fight Ruto atoke. Who would you want to get in? You.
You're asking me as a person?
No, yes. And the people you're saying that they are sitting there on the side because we chose Ruto and Raila to Uhuru told us different. Uhuru was misleading the country. He was not leading the country to a good place. Yes, he said Ruto was bad. He didn't tell us what, and his whatever alternative he was giving us was no better. And right now, when you're saying you won't help us fight, well, if we say today you help us fight, you want to help us fight to replace him to replace Ruto with Raila, and that is not gonna work because right now they are together. And Raila is even though he's saying that he's against abductions, he's going and fight and laughing and eating and breaking bread with a person who is responsible for these deaths of the youth. So how genuine is he? Can you imagine if someone killed your parents and then they came and told you sorry, and tomorrow you saw them going out with that person to eat and they're laughing and they're calling each other brother? Would you take that person to be sincere to you? That is how Raila is behaving. And that is why I said either tumekuwa brainwashed, because in a right mind thinking person, you would not entertain such a character as a person of influence to you, or even to be your friend. Because kuna semango hakuna mwizi na mchungulia. Kama Ruto anaua watoto wa watu na Ruto na Raila bado anacheka naye, wanaenda trips pamoja, they are the same. He's complicit. He's an accomplice.
What about those who voted Ruto to be the president to begin with? Are they accomplices as well?
No, they did not know. They were cheated. It is just like the way a person gets married to a person who ends up killing them, who ends up cheating on them, who ends up being mistreating them. You cannot foresee. And some of them, it was bad judgment. They had seen what he had done. He tricked them that he had changed and he hadn't changed. Some of them didn't know him. And some of them knew him and they are beneficiaries. So there are some people who are honestly deceived. We had no way of knowing that he would do the things he did now. And that is why people are saying...
That's fair enough. Umetetea Mburu.
Okay, so wacha nimalize hii ya Raila, please. What I was saying about history. When you look at the party of ODM, there is no democracy, even in the way they choose their leaders. When you look at people like Junet, who is a right-hand man of Raila, when you look like the people that the 3 people he donated, how they are behaving right now, that just tells you if they had taken over government, it would either have been the same as the way Ruto is behaving or even worse. Because one thing people do not like, wacha Ruto, Raila hata sahi mtu ukienda kuniniku, like when they used to have South Candid talk, you go there and talk about Raila, they drop you, they were intolerant. Imagine kama yuko intolerant na yuko opposition, na akikuwa president, watakukata shingo. It goes without saying. So we don't need him to go there to know. We already can see what he's doing without him being there with the little power he has, and it is not impressive. So why should we give him more? It is like having a bad boyfriend who beats you, who cheats on you. Why would you marry him unless you're a fool?
Ashri. Sasa, wacheni niseme kitu kidogo.
Yes.
Yeah, kwanza niseme, Mr. Omodo, you are entitled to feel how you feel about me not supporting Raila Odinga. I know you might have a different opinion, but just like I said, I have never supported Raila Odinga. There is a pastor who talks about nyota. Ya kwanza hana nyota ya ushindi. So hata nikimsupport bado ataaguka. Hata akiweza simama tena ataaguka tena. I am supporting him right now to get the AU seat, but bado najua bado ataaguka. Sasa hiyo ndio shida. Sio kutaka. So there is no need of supporting someone that has a very high possibility of failing. And na sisemi hiyo kwa ubaya. Amejaribu mara 5, akaanguka mara 5. Sasa hakuna haja ya kujaribu mara ya 6. Kuna ile kuna yule pastor anaitwa Pastor Ezekiel, anasema hana nyota. Huyo hana nyota ya ushindi. So there is no need of trying to support Raila Odinga, because also he has to exit the political scene, because even a good dancer knows when to stop dancing. When you dance too much, people will be used to your moves and it won't be entertaining anymore. The politics of Raila Odinga right now, they are outdated. Let us think of new people, new blood, people with new ideas. Some of the reasons why I would not support him and I would support William Ruto again is because we saw how even when he got a chance to become the prime minister, he was a nuisance in the government of Kibaki, all the time complaining about this and that. He even opposed the government as if he was in opposition. So even if you elect him, maybe because of getting used to be opposing, he is likely to oppose his own government. And I want to say this, Omondi, to the Nyanza people. Maybe I can give a piece of advice. Raila Odinga has been using his supporters, misusing them, not just using, but let me put it, misusing. He has been using the popularity and the support that he gets from his supporters to bargain for himself, to get nusu mkate. After getting nusu mkate, he expands his financial territories. He expands his economic power by building those factories for the family. He enriches himself and those few politicians who are around him, but he forgets the people who support him politically. And I'm saying that having supported many parts of Nyanza, and I can say there is a serious gap. The leadership, the people you vote for, they just think of fighting and fighting for themselves. They don't think about development. And there is a huge gap. Raila Odinga does not think about the people who vote for him. He thinks about himself and his businesses. And you people have supported him for a very long time. I think it is the high time you start thinking of another person. Then, Mr. Omonde, I know you are a good man. And I know you are even trying to support Ruto, but basing on your argument, I can tell you are not comfortable even supporting Ruto, even if Baba is together with him. So what I would advise is just to move from that sycophant corner. Come, let us oppose this government because it is doing more harm than good to the Republic of Kenya. Not because, I'm not saying this because of Gachagua, but I'm saying this because of the things that the government has done against the people of Kenya. So anybody who is a critical thinker out there, anybody who have goodwill to see this nation progress, already knows that William Ruto cannot be the best person to continue leading this nation. Even the proposals they are having to change the constitution, it is just to favor the politicians, but not the people of Kenya. Therefore, those who are saying we should continue supporting the government, for me, I'm saying no. It is the high time we tell the government we are tired. Myself, I am more than tired. Even when he talks, I hear him talk, I just switch off the TV. I don't want to listen to him because everything that proceeds from his mouth is just typical lies, which we should change. So we have to accept the truth that the people who are there, most of them are not the options, but we have to think critically as Kenyans. Whom are we going to support that is going to bring change to the way we do things? Someone who is going to fight corruption, because corruption here, it is the order of the day. It is very normal. People are, bribe is very normal. Those projects, those government projects and tenders, the way they are done, just corruption. So we have to seal these gaps, and somebody has to step up. I don't know who is that, but somebody somewhere must step up and say, no, enough is enough. Even if it means the army taking over, so that we can have a paradigm shift, so that we can restart again, because the foundation we have laid for ourselves and governance, it is terrible. If we continue like that, we will continue suffering while enriching few politicians. Bonnie, you can go ahead.
Yes, I have only a few comments here. I can see in the comment section. Dumez is attacking Jeremiah, but this is just comment sections. It's not for Africa 24.
But you need to protect me from that gentleman. I don't know who he is, and I need to kind of as a personal one.
So we don't stand with him. I have listened to today's conversation, and I have concluded that Ruto is the best leader for the president we have currently. That is awesome. Actually, of course, I know actually you are against this regime. But anyway, we have seen how they have been doing since they took over. Now they're saying that they want to bring Gachagua after they have impeached him. They want to bring him because now he knows what he has to do when he gets into the government. Actually, do you think that Gachagua will accept this? And will this even change anything when it comes to the politics of Kenya?
I wish you'd have asked me whether to uplift the people of Kenya, our lives, and it won't. So it's just about them. And that's why I said where we've reached, we need we need to find a way. And I've suggested this in different forums, that we need to come together as a people who want change. Then we look for people like Okiya Omtatah and others of like mind to go to court and petition the court that we the people, because it is we the people who decide who to donate our power to. We have enough reason to go to court and say, the people we chose to represent us are not representing us. We have enough evidence on social media with their own speaking themselves that they are not representing us, that they are not representing, a democracy is a system of government where the people decide the laws, the policies and leadership and major undertakings of a state or other politics. So we are the ones who should decide in a democracy, but our democracy is not working for us, because how are we having people abducted? How is that even in the democracy? How has no one been arrested up to date? How comes our leaders are not, our representatives that we have taken there to represent us are not even talking about the abductions? They are more concerned about limiting the rights of people on what they say on social media. That takes preference to them. That is more important to them, that Ruto has been put in a casket where everybody has to die. Everybody has an appointment with death. So that is just like, it's a given. It's good even to know that you will be buried in a coffin. There are people who have never been found, so they were not given a good death, a good decent send-off. So it is small stuff that they are worried about, but they have not come together to say that our children are getting killed. Our citizens are getting killed. So they are not looking out for us. They are not representing us. So when you ask me how Gachagua being brought back, why are we playing politics like we are doing sports when it affects us? If this will not uplift your life or mine, or make sure better, or reduce the cost of living, why should it even bother you? Why should you even talk about it? Why shouldn't we come here and say, guys, what are we going to do about these deaths? And I heard say we need to tell them, when you have an employee who is constantly doing the wrong thing, do you constantly tell them, or do you take action? Hapa kwa action, hapa ndio tunakosea, because we are not taking action. We have power, but you're not utilizing the power that we have as citizens. Wacha tujaribu koti. Koti kikataa kufanya kazi, then we can come to think of other things. If we can go to the UN and address the UN and tell them that we need help in Kenya, just that like they have given Haiti help, we can ask for help from the UN. Tell them there are people getting killed. Give them the story. The government is saying it's not them. These people are dressed as police. They have the technology of police. They are able to trace people, so they have access to the police. Muturi said when his son was stolen or was kidnapped, the president was able to call somebody and his son was released. So we have evidence to believe that the president is involved in this and the NIS is involved in this. So we need the help, because the government we chose has turned against us. And now they are the Nikamao gangs they are like barbecue. Ruto is barbecue in Kenya. So we need help. But if we don't speak up, if we don't tell the world what is going on, tukikuja kwa hizi shows complain. Let me tell you, wanasemanga chura, kelele ya chura will not make the cow stop drinking from the river. So until we snap out and we know that we have power to stop them, time ya kuwatel has come and gone. How do you keep telling someone who is killing children? Yani tutamwambia afanye nini? Already one death was enough to get them out. But even now, na watu kitambo walikuwa nasema, Muturi did wrong, angesema kitambo ndio hizo death ziwachwe. Kutoka aseme, si bado wanauliwa. You see, this government is doing it because they can. And they know we won't act. What I am asking these people who are taking Ruto to court to say a mental checkup, those are politics, wanacheza politics na yeye. They are not serious. Because if they were serious, they could have filed an impeachment motion in court. It doesn't always have to go through the system, because we have the option of going directly and exercising our power directly. Na hivyo mimi suggest we exercise our power directly, tuende kotini. We also tell the court tumechoka na hii government, tunataka wote watolewe, wote mpaka MCA, mpaka chief, mpaka kila mtu. Wacha military take over. We would rather be mistreated by the military than have a fake democracy. And then let us restructure, and then let us have another democracy, or just stay with the military and know that we are under military law, and then let us be mistreated because we are under military law, than pretending we have a democracy that we do not have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I also say that let's not behave like Libya. Their president gave them everything they wanted, but they felt they wanted more. They ended up killing or supporting the killing of their leader. Now, what do they have? That is awesome in the comment section there.
What has Ruto given us? He has taken away he has taken away healthcare. He has taken away education. He has taken away so many things. He has given us nothing, and he needs to go. Can Awesome come on this show and we put him to task?
Awesome. If you're following this great conversation, you can join the link and you come to share with the Kenyans here. Why do you think that we should give President the next term? Yes, Jeremiah, we have had a very wonderful discussion today. Of course, in the comment sections there, I can see Mudumes, I can see Awesome, Gypsy Corner, Labani Messiani. People are actively sending comments. Wilson, Kipkos Gay. I can see we had a lot of comment sections there, but as we come to the end of the show, so of course I've listened to what Ashley has said. Ashley needs us to get military into this position so that we can do cleansing. We can do cleansing of the government. That is the stand that I've listened from Ashley. But I also may say that we give the president another term. So closing remarks from Jeremiah. Jeremiah, of course, we have listened to Ashley as we come to the end of the show. You can also give your end remarks.
Thanks, Bon. I think the discussions are good. Just getting things done is what needs to be done. As Kenyans, something has to start somewhere. I to be honest, me from where I sit, I don't know where I can start. I'm just a regular old middle class Kenyan. Naishi tu maisha yake, anang'ang'ana na napambana na hali yake. So I wouldn't really have much to say as far as what do we need to do. No, not what we need to. What I can do really to impact change, except for maybe just voting, selecting my leader of choice from the ground up. And I think that's all we can do. For clarification to Mburu, when I was saying that I was disappointed that you'd pick Ruto again over Raila, maybe I didn't make it clear. My point was not just Ruto versus Raila. I juxtaposed it to Ruto against any other Kenyan. So the reason that I felt really disappointed is that Ruto against someone, you'd go back to Ruto. That is where it's not just necessarily Ruto versus Raila. But I understand the passion with which you hate Raila, and that's given. That's understandable. But watu wangangane na maisha, we can talk. If we can get some action done, well and good. If you are at a point where all you can do is talk and discuss matters, if that's all you can do, then that's well. Like Ashley said, kila mtu anafanya their part. Let's keep talking, but I wish that we could all find a way to turn all the talking into action, one way or another. Watu walale salama, mimi nimeenda.
Asante sana Jere. Hey, Jeff.
Yes, Bonnie.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say this as my final submission, that we have had a very beautiful, vibrant discussion tonight, and tomorrow is another day. Jeremiah, you have said that you understand I hate Raila with passion. I just want also to clarify that that is not true. I don't hate Raila Odinga. I even had a chance of meeting him during the time he was the prime minister. I went to his office. He is not a bad guy, but I have never approved his kind of politics. That is we only differ politically, but I don't hate anyone. And I also want to continue telling Kenyans, keep on speaking out about the evil and the bad things that this government is doing. Keep opposing those bad policies. Keep speaking about what is not working, because this government has really disappointed us. And please, in 2027, don't make a mistake of voting in Raila Odinga. I mean, not Raila Odinga, but don't vote William Ruto. Support somebody else, but not William Ruto.
It's
We
okay.
are saying any other Kenyan. No.
It's okay. You can just say Raila. It's okay.
No, it's fine. Sorry.
Because
Forgive
I
me
know
for
that. I know
He is,
that.
he
I
is
know
not
that
in the environment.
because Guru, I know for sure that if, like you
Okay,
said,
the two
Raila
people,
na
those are the
Nyota, Nyota isipowaka AU arudi alale na Ruto, aran na Ruto, I know where you're going to vote. So you ni sawa tu.
So anyway, have a beautiful night. Thank you so much, Ashley, Jeremiah, Bonnie. You are wonderful people. Thank you very, very, very much. Our viewers, continue supporting Africa 24. Let us meet tomorrow as we continue with the debate. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Actually, give us your closing remarks, and of course, I wish you could be coming to the show on a daily basis.
You don't have the show every day. I try to come, but I don't see it. But I've enjoyed the show. Thank you, Omondi. I don't hate. By the way, I supported Raila in 2017, 2018. I see someone on the comment section saying something about tribalism. You know, it's bad to make assumptions on people. And that is the cancer that is killing us. That is what our politicians want us to do. They want us to be tribal and fight each other tribally. The reason I did not support Raila in 2022 is because of what he did in 2017, 2018. I was carrying that from that time, and he behaved exactly the same way in 2022 as he did in 2018. So I am justified. I can write down for you why I didn't support him now, and I can write why I supported him in 2017 and why I didn't support the Uhuru Ruto camp. If people were going on issues, Ruto and Uhuru Ruto would not have won in 2017, because what people did not know, a lot was going on behind the scenes. This democracy, this economic decline was already at its peak. During that election, our rating was already being reduced, but because we were so engrossed with personalities, we could not see that. That is what I was looking at. I was posting that on my Facebook about our credit rating going down. I was posting out where they were buying inferior planes for very high amounts of money. So I could see that. And that is why I was supporting Raila. I supported him completely until that day when he shook Uhuru's hand. And from that day, I have never supported him. I did not support him in 2022 because of that, and also because of all the things that Uhuru did. So when the devil comes and tells you to choose somebody, you don't listen. I don't subscribe to the gospel of Uhuru and have never. So anyway, let me not go into detail. My closing remark. I think Raila has a problem, but his problem may be that when he was arrested, they messed him so much that he has no self-esteem. That is one thing I have noticed. He has no self-esteem. And it is so tragic that a man with no self-esteem has a large following him. Because if he had any self-esteem, he would not be going. How can somebody steal, assuming it is true that these people stole his vote, and then they come and give him a subordinate position? I would not take it. Anybody with any self-esteem would not take it. But you know where he was broken? And I think we should look at him as a victim. I don't know whether he has ever gone to counseling after he came from jail, because they broke him. And if you see the people he goes to bow to are people whose parents, Akina Kenyatta, Akina Moi, those are the people he goes to bow to. And those are the people whose parents broke him. So he's a broken man. What I don't know is if he has received any therapy to help him. And that I think the decisions he makes, please let me close. The decisions he makes, to me, that is my analysis of him. That's how I have come to look at him. Any person would not make such a decision, but if you are broken, if an abuser breaks somebody, have you ever seen a woman who is abused by their husband and they defend that husband? They come to, you see, like what I said in the beginning, that a slave, the worst thing about slavery is that the slave eventually gets to like it and even like the abuser. And I think that is the problem we have with Raila. And that is why he keeps going back and subscribing to the gospel of those people who have stolen from him, because no one with any self-esteem would do that. The last thing, the thing we keep talking about, the election. If you go to the election with Ruto, I do not foresee him losing those elections. Whether he has to start abducting the agents, whether he will make the police beat people who are going to the police stations, he will win. The only way we get Ruto out is before we go to the election. If we go to the election, he is getting a second term. Remember, there are mobile polling stations. What if he say in one mobile polling station there was 5 million votes? What are we going to do? So we either are postponing an eventual civil war, because there will be one then if there is not one now. We have to face the realistic nature of things. When we start talking about an election, I see a lot of zombies, people who do not want to face what the reality is. Any election with Ruto, he is winning. After that, there will be civil war. So we decide whether we are having the civil war now or we are going to wait for it until 2027. But if we take Ruto to the election, he will do everything, including abducting, including killing the whoever he needs to kill, include using the police so that people don't go to vote. Whatever it takes, he will win. So if we don't want him, we have to take him out before that time, or we get prepared to have a lot of killings then, because he will come back.
Unajua Ashley, nimesikia ni kama open debate ingine hapa kuhusu the diagnosis yenye umefanyia Raila Odinga hapa ya kwamba they messed up with his head to the extent that they lowered his self-esteem. But I beg to disagree with you respectively that I don't think Raila Odinga suffers from low self-esteem. I don't think anyone who has a problem with self-esteem would be in a position to pull the crowd the way he does. But what I think is that Raila Odinga is just selfish, because after each general elections, he sells his electorate for money. he has paid billions of money to calm down and to support the government in time. That is what happened during Uhuru Kenyatta. He was given some good money. That's what the politicians say. And his people, his staunch supporters, especially politicians, were given some good positions in government. And he forgot about those who voted for him. So for him, I see him just as a selfish politician who does not think about the common mwananchi. He thinks about himself more. Yani amekuwa akiuza watu wake ili wanyamaze, ili anyamaze, anapewa pesa na anapewa some positions, magari kubwa kubwa na polisi. Hiyo miaka 5 inaisha. Saa hii sasa Ruto tena amemchukua, amemwaga billions of money akijaribu kumfanyia campaign outside the country ili amsupport. Yeye huwa anatosheka haraka akipewa pesa yake. He forgets that behind him there were millions of people that were trusting in him to liberate them from bad governance. So that is how I see it. He's just a very selfish leader who fights for himself, but not for the people. And that is why I disagree with him to a greater extent. I was just trying to make that my observation.
I forgot to say this. Okay, let me quickly say, I think Raila going to AU is a good one, because if he goes to AU, there is no telling that he could come back and go against Ruto and support whoever else is going to be the leader. If he comes back and not win, he has to succumb to Ruto because he will still be under him. But if he goes to AU, he has no reason to do what Ruto wants. So personally, I think Raila going to AU would be a good thing for the country, because he will not be under Ruto. He can do as he wishes and he can back out of that relationship they have. It will not be a guarantee that he will support Ruto in 2027 if he is the AU chairman or chairperson.
Lakini ataaguka kwa sababu hana nyota ya ushindi. Wow, actually